TV Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
Jimenez into the area, back onto his left foot, Raul Jimenez! Raul Jimenez gives Wolves the lead! Traore! Another Traore! Oh my word! Neves brings it down on the body! Oh, you must be kidding me! Ruben Neves has just struck a sensational goal! Close it all! That's unbelievable! Martinho has whipped it into the far top corner. Can you believe this?
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
A very good afternoon and welcome to the home of football. This is Wolves TV Matchday Live Extra. I'm Mikey Burrows. Alongside me as ever here at Molineux is Andy Thompson, and joining us from home is Iwelumo and Carl Ikeme as well. We will hopefully be joined by Julian Lescott before kick-off as we count down to hopefully another impressive Wolves performance. Can they make it 3 wins in a row, possibly all by 1-0? Our prediction competition has been going very well for me so far this season. You can tell by the looks on the faces of the boys that it's not gone well for the pundits so far. No, Iwelumo, I will not come to you for a response to that because we have lots to get through between now and kick-off. Before we kind of go into our kind of proper football chat, there is one thing that I wanted to touch on very quickly before we get involved in the game today. It's obviously been a big week for Marcus Rashford and the work that he is doing at the minute, and Wolves fans too have been joining in to try and raise money to try and feed those who are most in need during difficult periods. And of course it is a hugely difficult period for so many, especially in our region. And we should touch on the fact that Carl Ikeme is now an ambassador for the Good Shepherd Ministries as well, which does an awful lot of good work in and around this area, Carl.
Yeah, it does. Like you touched on earlier, it's a difficult time for everyone, and a difficult time for a lot of people around Wolverhampton as well. So Good Shepherd's doors are always open there if anyone needed help. I think sometimes you don't understand the scale of the problem. I know we're not a third world country where we've got real poverty, but there is food poverty, and there's people that towards the end of the month for whatever bills that have to pay struggle to find money for food at times, and that's where the Good Shepherd does step in, help out. It's not just sort of homeless people who you think have got drug problems or alcohol problems. It's not that. It's families there. It's people who can't afford food or just need a little bit of a hand month to month, day to day. And that's why I'm proud to be an ambassador of the Good Shepherd, and that's why I can't stop applauding the work they do.
I know that during the summer, really, July to September, there were over 7,000 hot meals dished out by Good Shepherd, 330 parcels for vulnerable families, over 1,000 individual parcels given out as well. They're not the only people, of course, that you can choose to support if that is the thing that you wanted to do. But we wanted to try and give a little nod towards it because actually, Carl, it's something that you've kind of been involved with for an awful long time. And I know Carl Henry and a number of other Wolves players over the last couple of years have been involved in that and other projects around this area. It's good to give something back, really, to an area that supported you guys so much.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a great organisation. I can't speak highly enough of it. As you said, with other players that have supported it, and it's nice to give back to Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton's such a big, got a big place in my heart, and just seeing the work they do as well. Really, it's just a no-brainer. Anytime they ask for anything, and they don't really ask for much, to be honest. But I'm always there to help if I can in any other way. But like I said, 7,000 meals dished out. It shows that it's needed. But on another note, on a similar note, look at how the response to what Marcus Rashford has done this week. The amount of people that have said, restaurants have said, "Oh, well, if you need help feeding your kids, we'll feed them." The amount of restaurants I've seen pop up on Twitter, Instagram, saying that we'll help feed it. It's really brought everyone together, brought a sense of community, and it's applaudable for such a young man to bring so many people together.
Yeah. On the back of that, Carl, just like Marcus Rashford, I think the public figure, he's came out and he's done it, and there's a lot of people in the public eye that are doing these things, but they're doing it under the radar, and I think it's a positive thing that maybe they all come out and it's not to get the plaudits, but to show how serious a problem it is. And actually, I think the more voices shouting the same thing, then hopefully they can make the government have a U-turn on that for sure.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. I think you don't always like you said. There's a lot of different individuals, and some people don't like shouting from the rooftop. Some people like going about their business quietly, but I think just for the free school meals, whether the government makes a U-turn or not, I don't really know. But actually, I was on free school meals until I was about 15.
So
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was. I kind of remember it was just. I think when I got to about 15, it was a bit embarrassing for me, and I think that's the only reason my mum started to give me found a way to sort of give me a bit of money for my school lunches. So I kind of know the feeling of free school meals. It's not always by choice. I'm sure my mum didn't want me to go and get my free school meal, and knowing that it'd be a bit embarrassing for me around other people. And it's not a choice at times. It's a necessity.
Guys, it's an important message, and I think it was worth touching on before we get into the game. And I know Carl wouldn't have brought it up himself, but you're doing great work with Good Shepherd, and then there's a lot of Wolves fans who are doing good work amongst the community as well. And obviously, any support that we can give, don't hesitate to get in touch. Let's start talking about the game, and we can start it off, I guess, Tomo, by looking back to Monday night, which was one of those performances where in the cold light of day, when I woke up the next morning, you kind of think, actually, Wolves did really well on Monday, especially given the way Leeds then went to Villa on Friday night. To stop Leeds from scoring should not be underestimated.
No, it's not. So they've been free scoring, haven't they? Start of this season. Good side. I thought the first half they played really well, passed the ball really sharp amongst the players. But I think the Wolves defended well, especially that first half. And then the second half, they come into it a little bit more. Okay, they've got the deflected goal, but don't take anything away from that. The victory that Wolves got. That was a difficult game. And as you mentioned on there, Leeds then going to Aston Villa and getting a 3-0 result. And I think I saw one of the interviews where apparently it could have been more. So it just shows you the quality that Leeds have got and the way and the performance that Wolves did on that Monday night.
We sometimes, Chris Iwelumo, underestimate Wolves, don't we? I mean, we sometimes overestimate, let's be honest, from time to time, but there is always a lot of fluctuation about it. Fans expect the team to go out and play in a certain style. Given what happened against West Ham, to see the way they've gone almost back to basics, hard to beat, hard to break down, grinding out the wins, it's given them a platform.
It has very much so. I think it's a great sign, isn't it, when after a defeat you have to strip it back, you have to kind of look at yourself, reflect, and the performances after that have been outstanding. And I'm saying it's a result business. So however we get the 3 points, and this is what I've always said all my time, it doesn't matter, and I think not having the fans in, it makes it easier to do that, because there is an expectation there. There is a brand of football that Wolves that we expect to see, and we're all guilty of it as well. We've been spoilt, we've been absolutely spoilt, and we look at it and we think, oh, they're not firing, they're not doing this, but they were under the cosh, they were under pressure, they had to defend well, and that's exactly what they did. They chose moments. They still created in that first half. They got into the final third, but then we got the goal, clean sheet, job done. And you know what? So much credit goes to the individuals, but Nuno as well. They're very well structured. The players know their responsibilities. They know how to take it into matches. They know that they're not going to have it all their own way. So we've seen that ugly side, but all the onus again here at the Molineux Stadium is going to be on Wolves today to go out and try and implement their style and try and dominate. And you're looking at this Newcastle side as well coming. It's very, very interesting. They're going to be open. I think there's going to be opportunity today, but it's about us. we don't need to play that expansive game to win, as we've seen against Leeds. We just need to get the job done, and I think we're doing that very well.
Well, as Chris mentions, it will be a very different game today. We'll talk through the two lineups in just a second. But Carl Ikeme, there are areas for improvement. That's clearly obvious from what we've seen already this season. One of which is probably scoring more goals. Everyone would like that to happen. Maybe not goalkeepers necessarily, but everybody would like to see more goals.
Yeah, of course. I think we had goals from different places with Yata, Traore scoring a lot last year as well. We've not quite been flowing as much as it was last season. At the start, maybe the first game, I felt that we looked really comfortable, but apart from that, it's not been free flowing football. But we've had some tough games. Leeds is a tough game, and I felt that we've done a job on Leeds, and I felt it was needed. We've gone back to kind of just being solid, and I think that look again today. I think I think Nuno is trying to be solid first, and then try and get a basis and platform to play off. I think the goals will come. I think we have got goals in the team with Jimenez, and Neto's been scoring. Like Traore, really, he's been coming off the bench a lot as well. I think the goals will come. I just think it's just a matter of time. I think he wants to defend first from the last two games and build off that.
I almost want all three of you to kind of debate this. So I'm just going to give you some stats first off, and then you can kind of all try and work out really what's going on in amongst this. So only 6 of the current squad have actually scored a Premier League goal in 2020. One of those is Johnny, by the way, who of course is now injured for hopefully not too much longer. I know there's been some videos on social media of him starting his rehab and comeback, but 5 goals this season, 3 of them have come from Raúl Jimenez. They're averaging 10 shots a game in the Premier League at the minute, but only averaging scoring 1 a game. This is the big one though, and Looms, you can probably go in on first on this because you'll have an opinion on it. That Ruben Neves hasn't scored a Premier League goal now for 31 league appearances. João Moutinho hasn't scored for 30 league appearances. Adama Traore hasn't scored for 24. When you add in Willy Bolly, hasn't scored for 32. That's an awful lot of the team that are not scoring anywhere near as regularly as people might want them to.
Yeah, but Mikey, this is what I'm saying about when you look at stats. On the spin side of that, you look at Adama Traore, how many goals, assists that he's making. You know, he's playing in the wing back position more often than not, but he's creating for others. You look at Neves, Carl's already touched on it. It's so important to have a strong defensive structure, and first and foremost, and then you build from that. You know, you look at Johnny. Johnny plays that position excellently well. He defends, probably one of the best defenders at that on that left side. But when he goes forward, you know, the energy that he brings and just the awareness, he's got that quality. He should probably score more goals than what he does. You know, but so there is a spin side of it. Neves, he does a job. He's actually the one that gets the ball down, and he actually creates, basically, dictates that play for us in the centre of the park. But you have to have that defensive foundation. Now, Nuno's through to the group of players. We do know that we've lost a lot of goals. Diogo Jota, Docs, you know, Traore knows he needs to be scoring more goals, but if he's creating, he's doing his job for me. You know, I think there's a lot of kind of responsibility on Jimenez, Pedence. Pedence needs to step up. You know, with the quality that he's got, he definitely needs to be scoring more goals. You know, but from set plays, we've got Bolly, we've got Cody. You know what I mean? We've got Saiss. Saiss steps up. He does a fantastic goal against Leeds disallowed, but again, he would probably say, I should be scoring more. We don't score enough goals from set pieces. You know, that's important for any team. You know, when it's that tight match and you're not, things aren't going your way, but you've got that threat. We've got players that can go and physically aggressive in both boxes. We should be scoring more goals. So it's a difficult one, Mikey, when you think about where the goals are coming from and why these players aren't scoring.
We're going to add in Julian Lescott into this chat. So while he is joining and connecting, I'll come to you on this, Carl Ikeme. What is it? Why are they not scoring the goals? Why are those players not adding to their tallies?
I think Traore's case. He's not started that many games, has he? He's not. He didn't start against Leeds. He didn't start against Fulham, did he? So I think I'm looking at the side and thinking there is goals there. I'm not worrying. I just think after the West Ham defeat, it was like back to basics. We beat Fulham, so it was hard for Nuno to change the team again. In all honesty, we've beat Leeds. It's going to be hard for him to change the team again today. I don't expect 3 goals today either, but I expect maybe a 1 or 2-0 victory. And I think that's what he's going for at the minute, just solid. I think we've just started the season. If you look at the whole Premier League, no one's really found their feet yet. No one's playing that free-flowing football. None of the top 4 are. I think everyone's trying to get in their rhythm of how they're going to play and how the season's going to go for them. And I think Wolves is the same. I think we're in a bit of a transition, in all honesty. Like Loom said, like we've lost Duck. It's a lot of goals there as well. I think you got Semedo coming in, who looks a great signing, but at the same time, he's going to take time to settle. With other players, they're going to take time to settle. And I think Nuno has probably seen that and thought, you know what, let's just be solid first, and then we can build off that.
We'll pause this chat about goal scoring because, as you can see, we've been joined by a man who's very much was about goal stopping in his Wolves time. Hello, Julian Lescott. Thanks for joining us on Matchday Live Extra. Always good to have you with us, my friend. I mean, you can chip in if you want on the goal scoring issue and Wolves not scoring as many goals as many of us would like them to. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, afternoon all. Obviously there's always more goals you'd like to see being scored, but I think it's key to get the balance right. I think if you're free flowing, we've seen teams that are free flowing, yes, but then conceding a high number of goals. Like Carl, I just caught the back of his answer after the defeat to West Ham. You just want to get back to basics. You just want to stop the kind of leaking in at the other end. And if you can nick 1 or 2 goals, great. But as long as you're keeping clean sheets off the back of a heavy defeat, then that's the kind of thing you're looking for, to be honest.
Because Wolves at the minute, Jolien, if they win today, they're right up in amongst it. I know Everton obviously have been struggling against Southampton this afternoon. Suddenly, despite the fact people would suggest that Wolves haven't been at their best, they're right in amongst it. 4 wins from 6 would be an incredible start. Yeah,
and that's a positive for me in regards to Wolves not playing as well as they have done over the past 2 or 3 seasons, but getting results. I think we've just got kind of accustomed to seeing them playing so well and winning, and especially in the big games against the so-called Big Six. They've held their own and competed and took a lot of points. And for me, it's the fact now they're finding a balance of just being hard to beat and grinding out results. And I think the Wolves will go back to when they do find their rhythm of being exciting and more exciting to watch. But for now, they're picking up results when not playing so well, which is always a good sign.
From a defensive point of view, I'm not sure how much you've seen of the last 2 games, but Max Kilman, young, left-footed centre-half, can play a bit. Sound a bit familiar?
Yeah. To be fair, I've seen him a few times. To be fair, he looks good. When he first came into the team, I think it was a couple of Europa League games last season. Obviously, question marks over the defensive side due to his background. It's more, as you're saying, possession-based. He's kind of upbringing football, but yeah, he's looked steady. Again, I like that. I like the fact that we haven't seen possibly his potential on the ball yet. We've just seen him go in there and be defensively solid, defend the box well, get himself on the way of crosses and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot more to come in regards to possession. But for any defender, it's key just to kind of just find your way in there and go unnoticed.
Because Tomo, he was really impressive, wasn't he, Max Kilman, on Monday night? I know Conor Cody in his TV interview afterwards was a touch surprised.
Shocked at the man of the match, was he?
Yeah. But he's superb, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. So lucky he never put a foot wrong, did he? So lucky, looked cool on the ball. You can see that he's a good passer of it as well. He didn't seem to get fazed by the opposition because there was a lot of pressure put on from Leeds in that first half, especially. And he dealt with it great. And again, so look, I know that we're joking about saying, "Oh, he got man of the match," but I thought he played really well. I thought that he defended well. He got his body in between the players, blocking shots, getting his head to things, and that's what he's got to do as a defender. You've got to try and stop them at all costs to scoring that goal, and that's what he did. But then he shows his quality on the ball, which again is testimony to the way that he's developed and he's starting to come on. So because he did well against the Fulham game as well, so I thought he did well. So it just shows you that we have got players coming through who can come into the first team, and hopefully he can go on and keep improving his performances.
Because I guess, Jolien, how important is it as a defender to be able to play as well? I mean, I know there was a debate recently about Manchester City, of course, that you see an awful lot of, about that kind of, they brought in Ruben Diaz, who has linked an awful lot here, of kind of how much you can teach a ball player defending, or you can teach ball playing to a defender. Where do you stand?
Yeah. I think it's easier to teach someone how to be good in possession, because with me that comes with confidence. I think there's a defensive instinct and a striker's instinct, like most positions, that if you have them traits, it's easier to develop the kind of stuff that people want to see now. I think we've gone away from defended-minded defenders. It's all kind of how good are I in possession, where that was kind of the icing on the cake when growing up for me. That was obviously, it was a nice thing to have, but TC would have ruined me if I couldn't defend, you know what I mean? And that was cool, always drilled into me, be able to defend. And then obviously if you can keep possession more often than that's the bonus. But for me, the bread and butter for any defender is being able to defend and recognise dangerous situations.
TC used to, what was his nickname for you?
The Chancer, yeah. Yeah, it's the wind me up. Too many risks. Yeah. So I'll probably get away with them now. I'd probably get away with them and get a lot more highlights.
Julian, don't you think it says a lot about Nuno as well to actually throw Max Kilman in there? Because for any manager, it's quite hard for them to just put the youngsters in, because like you say, I know he's done fantastically well. His job's not on the line, but there is a lot of pressure there, isn't there? And it's fantastic that he's put the young lad in.
Yeah, definitely. And even more so the fact that he kind of brought in Marcelo, he was available on Monday, and he was on the bench. And obviously Saiss has been playing well there. So the fact that he kept the likes of Marcelo at the team, regardless if it was direct competition for places. But he's proven, obviously, he's earning the right and on merit in training. He's doing the right things. And obviously Nuno's got a system that he can trust pretty much anyone in the squad, can't he? I think anyone that goes in there understands the role they need to do. And obviously Max Kilman's come in there and made the position his own in the short term.
Jolien, just as you know, as a young lad coming in to the team as well, what do you think he needs to do to keep his place and progress his career from there?
Again, learn. People like kind of Cody will always help him. Really, Buddy. Again, they're two of the most consistent performers in the team at Nate. But again, just not get carried away and be eager to showcase the things he probably enjoys more. That is having possession in tight spaces and getting out of it. Again, if they're the things that get him out of trouble rather than get him in trouble, he'll go a long way. And he's still young, he's still developing. But the fact that he's played a handful of Premier League games and he doesn't look out of place is a testament to him and obviously the coaching staff in regards to his development.
As far as Newcastle goes, Wolves' record at home against Newcastle is not very good. So we have to go all the way back to when Tomo was playing the last time we beat them.
Only a couple of years ago. A few years ago.
In the league.
But Jolien, you were part of a pretty special Newcastle home win in the FA Cup, 2003.
Yeah, I think I gave away a pen that game as well, to be fair.
That's probably what you Jolien, that's what he
Yeah, I know, yeah. Just slap
he knows what he's doing.
He knows. But yeah, no, I remember that game actually. I think there's the famous Craig Bellamy tapping his badge game. But no, again, that was a massive occasion. I think Matty gave probably shock. He was man of the match, wasn't he? I think so. It was a big game, obviously at the time. Different now. I think if you look on par in terms of ambitions of the club, Wolves' ambitions are slightly higher than Newcastle. So it just proves how far the club's come in that short time.
Jolien, do you know what Mikey's tried to do there? He's seen all the trophies in the background. He's thought he's going to bring you down a peg or two. And that's what he's done.
He can't, mate.
Mate,
I see it, Mikey. I see it, Mikey. I see it, Mikey.
What I tried to do to you and Chris Warren. Jolien's on another level. I would never do it on another level. He's won the Premier League, for goodness sake. I could never do anything to him.
Look, see, Julian, on the balance of it, you said a team should have balance, right? But, as a defender, like if you speak yourself, do you set yourself, like a target for goals. Because, from set pieces and things, it's like every team that you've been at, a successful team, goals have to come from everywhere. It's not the responsibility of the strikers, So, and that's something that probably we are a little bit lacking, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think the balance, and we'd all love to, as much as we enjoyed seeing kind of score for England, we'd love to swap that for a Wolves goal, you know what I mean? So I think definitely there needs to become an impact from every area of the field. On average, it was roughly 10 goals during the whole defensive unit. On average, it should be throughout the season, whether that's free kicks and corners and stuff like that. So there needs to be a contribution, definitely. But if no one contributes and they keep a high number of clean sheets, then that's equally as important.
Jolien, I know you've been very busy this afternoon, so just before we let you go, we are going to invite you to give us your score prediction for today. You can join Team Pundits, who are 3-0 down to yours truly so far this season. What are you going for?
What did you guess then today? What have you said today?
Oh, well, I've not done it yet.
You'll do 1-0.
Okay. You'll do 1. Safe. I was going to say, I might have 2-0 Wolves, to be fair.
2-0.
Yeah, 2-0.
Okay. Mate, it's really brilliant to have you as ever. We really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining.
No problem. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
All the best, mate.
Yeah, man. Nice. See you later, Carl.
See you later, mate. Take it easy.
Live extra here on Wolves TV. Just on the point of him, Carl Ikeme, and Max Kilman that we were talking about there, you look at someone like Jolien, the way he played the game, Max can look at that and go, that's exactly what I can be and what I can achieve.
Yeah, and so should do. I remember you talk about TC and Jolien. I remember watching Jolien work endlessly with TC all the time. After training, TC would be dragging him, practicing his passing from the back, practicing headers, and Joel really applied himself, and you started to see him take off physically. Joel was a specimen. He was so strong and so quick. But Max should be looking at Joel's example and looking to emulate that. And let's be honest, if he does continue to play in the Premier League, he's got a head start on Joel, who was in the Championship at the time. So I think Joel's a great example to look at. He was a great professional as well, and obviously he played at the top level. He'd done everything there was to do in the game as well. So why not? Why can't Max be that? Like Connor's gone on to play for England and captain England. Why can't Max do that? I know we have to keep his feet on the ground, and I'm sure everyone will as well. But quietly, he'll have to. He has to aim for the stars. And like I said, he's not put a foot wrong as yet. And I think what I liked what Joe has said is to go unnoticed, and he's been noticed by us because we're analysing the performances, but he's just quietly gone about his business and done his job right. And I think that's why we're all giving the plaudits that he deserves, because he's not looked out of place whatsoever.
Things that he's got a great opportunity under this manager, hasn't he, to improve. Yeah. So, like, you see what he's done to the players in the years that he's been here, and how well they've done and how well they've improved. And Max is going to be that. Hopefully, he's going to be that as well. That we're going to see the improvements that he has. And I'm sure since Nuno's been in, he's improved over the 3 years that he's been here. So it just shows you, if he knuckles down, works hard, as you said, Jolien did as well, he's going to improve. So look, because there's no doubt about it. So look, we talk about defenders having to be able to play and pass the ball. He's definitely got that already. Now he's just got to try and learn the game, get some experience of playing games in the Premier League. And I'm sure that he will.
It's what Jolien said there, didn't he? He said that last season when Max came in and he was playing, the positioning was questionable. Yeah. He's went away and worked at it. Now we all know how hard Julian's told that story to us, Mikey, hasn't he? How what TC put him through. So Max Kilman, you can see that he's improved positioning wise. He's getting better and better, and that's under Nuno. He's done it with so many players. He's improved them as a coach, So hopefully, long may that continue for him.
Well, Max Kilman keeps his place today. Let's take a look at how Wolves will be lining up. Romain Saïd staying in the left wing-back position. So unfortunate to have what would have been a superb goal ruled out by a fractional offside on Monday night. Ruben Neves coming in, Tomo for Jean Moutinho, who drops to the bench. Did you expect that change based on what you saw on Monday?
Look, I think they play a similar position. They don't advance very far forward, and I think there's a lot more experience than Moutinho, but I think Neves can go in there and just give them a little bit more of a range of passing with the ability that he's got on the ball. But look, Moutinho is not going to play every game. So, look, it's a great swap to have, Neves coming in. But, look, I think he's coming there. He'll stabilise things in there with Dendoncker. Dendoncker will be the one that I think will push forward or try to advance a little bit more. And that's another thing I want to touch on. We've got to try and have a little bit more of a gamble to get into the penalty area, get bodies into that penalty area. We talk about adding more goals to the team, and that's what they've got to do, because there was times the other night that we only had one player in the penalty area. We've got to try and get a couple of more bodies in there to just cause them a little bit more of a problem.
Okay, teams will be coming out very shortly. It is prediction time. Go on then, Luke.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, you're saying 3-0. I'll give you 2 of those, because the first game of the season, you gave us 2 results. You says, I don't know if I'm going to go 2-0 or 2-1. So this 3-0 stuff, I'm just not having at all. So you can't throw out, I can't say to you now, all right, I think it's going to be 2-1, possibly 2-0, maybe 3-2. And then whatever one comes in, I take it.
Hang on.
You gave 2. We'll get Yanni to get up, mate.
Hang on. Yeah, I'll just check with our producer that. Yeah, no, he's confirming to me that I did say 2-0 for the opening game. We checked that on the records. Yeah, we checked it. Yeah, we've checked it. Definitely checked it. It is.
Mikey, you're talking to yourself. You're pretending to talk to someone there. Yanni's not even there.
What a guy, mate. What a guy. You're still 2-0 up, mate.
3-0.
You know what I mean?
3-0, mate. 3-0, accepted. This is your chance.
Oh, 3-0. So that's your decision today. You went with 3-0. Right, Mikey's made his choice. Right, on to you, Carl.
I've already said 1-0. That's what I go with.
No, you can't go with that again. It's too. You can't say 1-0 every game all season.
I can. Believe you me. I absolutely can.
We
will.
Anyway,
I know we're doing this over Zoom and that, but I will have to come to the stadium soon, mate, if you keep doing it.
Carl Ikeme, what's the score prediction today?
I feel like saying 1-0 just because you're going to say it, but I'm not, because I'm not like you. 2-0.
2-0. Looms?
2-1. 2-1 Wolves.
3-1 I'm going. 3-1.
I wondered what was going to come out there when he was done.
Be careful what you say now, Mikey. Be careful what you say.
And I am going for 1-0 Wolves.
Oh,
let's see what happens at the end. Of course, if it is more goals, then I'll absolutely be happy. Although not if it's 2-0, and Carl Ikeme will be sending me messages for the entire week until Friday against Crystal Palace. So that's what we think. Let us know what you think. Use the hashtag Wolves Live as ever to give us your predictions. Thank you very much, boys. More from Chris Iwelumo and Carl Ikeme to come at half-time. More from Tomo in just a second. Don't go anywhere because the teams will be coming out. Wolves against Newcastle on Matchday Live Extra here from Wolves TV.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blight Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blight Group.
This season, the Old Goal Club and Wolves TV Matchday Live are powered by Blight Group, an industry-leading construction company and family-run business since 1982, driving investment and infrastructure across the UK. Blight Group's mission is to provide an unrivaled service based on innovative, bespoke building solutions and comprehensive customer support. If you're a skilled tradesperson and you want to join the team that powers our team, contact their bases in Wolverhampton, Manchester or Maidenhead via theblightgroup.co.uk. Blight Group, big enough to deliver, small enough to care.
Wolves TV Matchday Live, powered by Blight Group.
Well, back-to-back 1-0 wins has put Wolves on the verge of their best start to a top-flight season since 1979. But you have to go even further back to 1977 for the last time the Old Gold beat Newcastle at Molineux in the top division. 7 of the last 10 Premier League meetings between these two have been draws. 6 of them 1-1, including the last 3 And goals could be hard to come by today. Only the bottom three had scored fewer than Nuno's side going into this weekend, whilst Newcastle have had just 12 shots on target in their 5 games so far. But as ever, football and Wolves are rarely, if ever, predictable. Wolves make one change from the side that started Monday night's victory at Leeds at Ellen Road. Ruben Neves comes in for João Moutinho in midfield. Rui Patricio is in goal. A back three of Willy Boly, Connor Cody, and fresh from signing a new contract, Max Kilman, Nelson Semedo and Romain Saiz are the wing-backs. Neves, Leander Dendoncker and Pedro Neto, the chief support to Daniel Podence and Raul Jimenez. Newcastle, well, who knows what their actual lineup could be. They've sprung a couple of surprises, plenty of changes in amongst it. Carl Darlow will be in goal. Then we're expecting a back three of Fabian Schär, Jamal Lascelles and Federico Fernandez, with Jacob Murphy and Jamal Lewis as wing-backs. Jeff Hendrick to hold in midfield. Ryan Fraser, Miguel Almiron, Alan St. Maximum, all supporting Callum Wilson up top. The respective benches, John Ruddy, who celebrated his 34th birthday this week. Kiana Hoover, first Wolves 18 for Ryan Aït-Nouri, Marçal, Fabio Silva, João Moutinho and Adama Traore. Mark Gillespie is Newcastle sub-keeper. Andy Carroll, Joe Linton, Isaac Hayden, Emil Kraft, Javier Manquillo and Sean Langstaff make up the Newcastle squad for today. It's heading towards winter. Very autumnal it has been over the last couple of weeks or so. There's a fair old breeze around this famous old stadium. There's a chill in the air. There's quite a few players with long sleeve tops on underneath their kits. We are heading towards what would normally be the business end of the season, Tomo, the real nitty gritty. Still feels early in this campaign, the way everything has worked out, but hopefully we're going to see Wolves getting into their groove and getting some consistency in their play.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of teams are still trying to find the feet after like a shorter break than normal, what they've had, and the season starting a little bit later. So look, it's obviously 5 games, 6th game in, or the Premier League games in, and it's still all fresh to everybody. Again, we're hoping that they find the feet quicker than they can, and to try and get those goals that we spoke about, where they can start to contribute a little bit more. And so I've gone for 3-1 today, so I'm hoping it will start. Not your 1-0.
The Wolves will go into their pre-match huddle as ever. Newcastle have turned Wolves round, so Wolves will attack the Sir Jack Hayward South Bank in the first half. Though, of course, without supporters in, I'm not sure it makes an entirely huge amount of difference.
I'm just looking at that, the swap ends, and I'm just thinking, well, have they just done it just to unsettle Wolves? Because they normally play that way from right to left first half. But look, so I don't think it's much difference, as I just said, with the crowd not being in.
Well, the referee will blow his whistle, Lee Mason, and everyone will take a knee as the message continues to be sent around the world to challenge racism and report it. And we are underway here at Molineux. Wolves against Newcastle on Matchday Live Extra. Willy Boly infield to Connor Cody, early on to Max Kilman.
Yeah, I'm just looking here as well. So it is Jacob Murphy playing right back down that side.
Yeah, 5 at the back for Newcastle. There was some confusion amongst those in the media ranks when the team sheets were announced at just how Newcastle would be lining up. As Kilman plays it wide for Saiz on the halfway line. Infield just couldn't quite find Jimenez. Wolves in the gold shirts with the black sleeves, the black shorts and gold socks. Newcastle black and white striped shirts with white shorts and black socks. And say Wolves defending the Stankolis North Bank away to our left. Steve Ball stand on the far side. And we, as ever, at the front of the top tier of the Billy Wright stand, just to the right of the director's box that has a certain Robert Plant in it today.
Yeah, so they must be taking it in turns, him and Bully, so like come to the games. But yeah, so we haven't seen him for a while, have we? So it'd be, I hope we can give him a victory today.
So Maximum down the right-hand side for Newcastle. It's well taken away from him.
Yeah, he just shows you.
Dendoncker.
I was just about to say, it just shows you the reason why he's in there for that, just to break things up and that physical presence that he's got.
Semedo infield to Neves. Back into his own half to Willy Boly. We'll feed it to the feet of Connor Cody. Low right footed pass to Max Kilman on his left-hand side. It was Podence who pulled wide. Saiz couldn't quite get hold of the ball and ended up getting a piece of the Newcastle man and a free kick to the away side. We are just about 2 minutes into the game, just shy of that. As ever, you can have your say. Get in touch with us. Rob Knight is listening in a snowy and minus 16 degrees Celsius Calgary. He says it's warmed up this morning, seriously.
That's warm, oh no.
He says he's not bothered about the result. He just really, really wants a performance. And then he says, oh yeah, and a result, please.
Yeah. Be nice to have both, but I think the result's the thing that you want to keep us pushing up there towards the top.
Well, the ball has actually hit a drinks bottle that's on the pitch there, and the referee's going to have to pause the play for a second. Newcastle playing around with it at the back.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what he does. Does he just give a throw in? I was going to do a drop ball, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean,
was he just going to get it back to them?
Just give it back to Fabian Schär. Of course, they don't really have contested drop balls anymore, so the ball is just dropped to the feet of Schär.
Game's gone, mate, isn't it? Game's gone. They were the highlight of the game sometimes, the drop balls.
Just an opportunity to kick somebody right under the referee's nose. Schär, loose one that's picked up by Neto on the halfway line. Nice little bit of trickery to get away from Lewis. Down the line for Semedo. Semedo with two players around him, trying to get past them to the byline there, and he's hung a cross up, inviting to the far post, and it was Neves who was arriving. Podence will play it backwards to Saiz. It's probably the most advanced we've seen Neves for a long while.
I know, it was Dendoncker who was sitting in then. So Neves getting up there at that back post.
Here is Neves looking to switch the play. Lovely crossfield ball out to the feet of Semedo, 30 yards from goal. Semedo has Neto wide of him. Here is Neto. It's been forced backwards a touch. Finding Bolly. And then into his own half at the base of the centre circle. Just to the right of it for Cody. He looks to try and play a long diagonal up to Semedo. Gets control of it. Infield, though, was just behind Dendoncker. And Newcastle will try and work it clear.
Yeah, so just unlucky there, wasn't he? Just tried to find it. It's a great ball from Connor Cody, but just got to try and pick that forward out. Jimenez there, just to link up a little bit. But already we've seen a couple of balls there. One from Neves, one from Connor Cody. Diagonal. I thought there was going to come another one there, but decided just to pass it to Neto.
Yeah, Neto on the halfway line. Nice ball infield to Podence. First time flick to Jimenez, who's driving on forwards now, feeding it out to the left-hand side to Saiz. Saiz with a first-time cross. It was in towards Dendoncker, powerfully headed away by Fernandez. Podence picking up on the loose ball, though. Tomo's thoughts in a second as Podence looks to bring it out towards the Wolves' right. Semedo is short. This is Semedo to Neto. Infield to Dendoncker, to Semedo. Infield to Podence. Good football this from Wolves. Podence maybe fancying an effort, and it's palmed away to his left-hand side by Carl Darlow.
Yeah, they've backed off a little bit, Newcastle, so Wolves have kept the ball pretty well. And again, you could see Podence, he wasn't too keen on having his shot, but he realised that people were backing off him, so he just took it onto his left foot. And again, he's tested the keeper, Darlow. But again, it's a promising start for them.
Nice little flick again from Neto and from Jimenez to Podence, who tried to feed it through the eye of a needle. Back to Neto.
Oh, that was just fractions off there, finding Neto, though. I say it's been some sharp play, some little flicks, some little one-touch play.
The ability to have a little bit more time this week to get their plans together and work on some of the ways that they want to play. I do think people sometimes forget just how short a break Wolves had in between what was an epically long season and then starting again. It will take time for them to get into their rhythm, the one-touch stuff.
But it's only like, I say, look, this is only the sixth Premier League game they've played. So they're still finding the feet. There's still new players coming in as well. You need them to settle in. So it just knocks it off a little bit.
Bolly trying to knock one in behind for Semedo to chase. Battling away with Lewis. Semedo has it, 10 yards from the right-hand corner flag. Trying to squeeze his way back in field. Has support from Dendoncker to Bolly. Into the centre circle to Kilman, who will look to the Wolves' left. Firstly to Neves. He turns and has support from Saiz. He'll go back in field to Dendoncker. This is much more 3-4-3 than maybe it's been in recent weeks, Tomo, with Neto a lot further forwards and in a very different position than we've seen him so far.
Yeah, but as Sellock also as well, they're having a lot of possession, where usually the teams are coming at them, have quite a bit of possession against them in that first half especially. But Newcastle are finding it difficult to get an actual hold of the ball or get into Wolves' half, which is good. But I'd just like to see if we could just make a few more efforts to go. We've had the one. Can we get a few more?
Semedo got the ball back from his throw from Jimenez. Ball comes to Raul Jimenez, back to Willy Bolly. A couple of yards in from the right-hand touchline, plays the ball back into his half to Cody. Evades Wilson. Kilman will leave it for Neves, left-hand side of the centre circle. Out to the touchline, just 10 yards over halfway to Saiz. Back into his own half to Kilman. Now to Cody. Wolves having plenty of the ball early on. 7.5 minutes played at Molineux. Cody to Kilman to Neves, just over halfway. Now looking to switch the ball from left to right out to Semedo. Had to come backwards a little bit to get it. Infield to Neto. Back to Ruben Neves, central position in the Newcastle half, turning and looking right, trying to thread it through to Semedo, and he's found him. Semedo's cross blocked off by Lewis and behind for a Wolves corner, and this is a very good opening period.
It is, and so look, they're looking positive on the ball, confident. They're trying to pull Newcastle around at the moment. Newcastle are finding it difficult to even match them at the minute. But just got to keep going. Just keep knocking at the door, keep going, if they can get those opportunities.
Neto's corner, left-footed from the right-hand side in front of the South Bank, both arms in the air. Semedo thought about coming short. Instead, it will be lifted into the danger zone, but a comfortable take for Darlow, unchallenged on the edge of his 6-yard box.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's a decent ball in, central of the goal as well. Just need somebody to put some pressure on the goalkeeper there, just to have a body in there.
Jimenez working hard to put a bit of pressure on, and sliding challenge in by Hendrick. Podence has come away with the ball here, and suddenly Wolves have numbers pouring forwards. It's Podence to strike it, couldn't keep it down. Looked wide, a long way wide as well in the end, but excellent work by Raul Jimenez twice to put the pressure on Newcastle deep inside their own half, and Podence nearly got the benefit.
Yeah, and it was backed up by Neves and Podence there, just closing down. Initial thing come from Jimenez, just putting pressure on them, and was able to win the ball back. Unfortunate about his finish. Just hit it well, but just a little bit too high over the bar.
There is Jamal Lascelles to the right-hand side. Scher gets it back and play it across to Federico Fernandez. Over halfway to Jamal Lewis, the left wing back. Closed down by Neto. Ball will go back in field to Fernandez. And then over halfway line comes Scher. So Maximin with a heavy touch. That allowed Jimenez to win it back and find Neves. Almost closed. With too many bodies around, and Dendoncker actually came off the worst of there. He wasn't really involved in it apart from people trampling over him.
I was going to say, I was just trying to see what happened to him there. Seems to have had the brunt of it all, didn't he?
I think he was trying to get out of the way, and just Neves and two Newcastle players went marauding over the top of him. Here is Neves. Wonderful crossfield ball out to the right-hand side to Semedo. Semedo driving on towards the edge of the box, pulling it back. Jimenez striking first time, didn't catch it right with the instep of his right boot and a long way wide.
No, so another great ball from Neves. Semedo down this right side. You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to just connect and place it at Darlow's goal, but he just didn't catch it correctly. Come off his heel, if anything, and ended up going out for a goal kick. But again, some of the passing already, finding out this right-hand side to Semedo. It's been outstanding. So just hopefully we can start to put it to the test of the goalkeeper rather than just missing the target.
10.5 minutes played at Molineux. Wolves 0, Newcastle 0. Darlow's goal kick goes down the Newcastle right over the top of Saiz, but he will win a free kick for his team. That's taken quickly by Kilman to Bolly. Out to the right-hand side to Semedo. Up to halfway to Neto. Back to Willy Bolly. Infield to Connor Cody. So Wolves have had plenty of the ball in this opening period, having not seen much of it at all in the game at Ellen Road on Monday night.
Well, this must be the most they've had in the first half.
70-30 so far in Wolves' favour. Got to keep that going.
They have, but so like I'd just like them to see a little bit more conviction in that top third around the penalty area. So we've done brilliant to get up to there, but it's just that final ball that's just missing a little bit.
This is Pedence, infield to Jimenez, to Neves, first time to his right-hand side to Dendoncker, forcing it forwards, wide to Semedo, 30 yards from goal on the right-hand side, turning away from St. Maximum and looking to run past Lewis on the outside. Lewis with a foot in, Wolves throw, down by the right-hand corner flag. There is much more of an urgency, I would say, about Wolves playing this opening period.
Yeah, there is. So look, you can see the tempo of the passing, and we've said time and time again, when we play at a decent tempo, we do hurt teams. And we've seen that already. You say it's just that final execution in the top third. They're just missing at the minute. They've had that one shot by Pedence. Just have a few more.
Or Jimenez with a cheeky back heel. Neto with a nutmeg to Jimenez, who's continued his run, but he couldn't get his shot on target. That would have been an incredible goal from Wolves to work their way out from a tight area out near the right-hand corner flag. Jimenez's back heel. Neto's bit of trickery. Just needed the finish from Jimenez, and it wasn't quite there.
There you go. There's an example of it again. Some great play. It's a great first touch by Jimenez. Just didn't get his foot round. He did his left foot. But a little back heel for him, straight to Neto, who did brilliant with the nutmegs there. Yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate. Just didn't get his foot round it. But the link-up play has been absolutely brilliant so far in this first half.
Very positive start from Wolves in the opening 13 minutes. Can they keep it going? Saïs's header, Pedence's flick in field. Hendrick will play it backwards. Lascelles and the real pressure from Jimenez. Finding Scher on the right-hand side, who turns and clears to halfway. Ball goes past Wilson and Kilman to Cody. And finds Semedo. Semedo under pressure from Almiron has run the ball out of play in front of Nuno's technical area. Big hello to Nick Parker, tuning in from Sedgley with 95-year-old veteran Wolfman dad Henry and his football-hating sister Karen. She wanted to watch a box set but got outvoted. Come on, lads, says Nick.
Plenty of time to watch the box set, mate.
Get a box set of Wolves.
There you go.
Some of the old VHS and DVDs.
I might be on them ones then, VHS.
Yeah. Maybe the old kind of cine-film ones. The old Pathé film they used to show in the cinemas. That's what you'll be on.
With the crackles on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they still survive. Scher out to Murphy on the right-hand side. Back to Scher inside the Newcastle half. Closed down by Pedence. Switching the play to Fernandez. Up to St. Maximum. Turning, and his pass will be intercepted by Saïs, who finds Pedence first time, just to the left of the centre circle. St. Maximum closing down Pedence, though, and coming away with the ball. Pedence still tracking him. It goes to the left-hand side to Almiron. Now to Fraser. His loose pass will be capitalised on by Bolly. First time to Neto, to Pedence, who's dropped a shoulder superbly well, and then takes a tumble. And Newcastle come away with the ball. Fraser down the left-hand side. Support from Almiron. Right on the left-hand touchline, going all the way back to halfway to Lascelles. Fernandez across to Fabian Scher. Jeff Hendrick coming short for it, right on halfway, to the right of the centre circle as Newcastle look downfield towards the north bank. Lascelles to Fernandez. Out down the left-hand side to Lewis. Neto tracking him. Lewis will look back infield for support from Fernandez. Into the centre circle to Lascelles. Newcastle's turn to just put a foot on it, move it around, but Wolves are happy enough to let them have it where they are and then force the mistake that came from Almiron and pounced on by Jimenez, who now looks to try and drive to the Wolves' left. Support from Romain Saïs.
Yeah, just watching the Newcastle players there, there's not much movement. You watch the Wolves play in this first half. It's sharp, there's movement in front of them. So Newcastle give the ball away 2 or 3 times when there's no real pressure on them. And again, if I was Wolves' team, I'd try and stop all the possession that they can have Newcastle so they don't grow any confidence in the way they're playing.
Wolves at the moment dominating the possession, but they are not being able to break through against Carl Darlow so far. Long ball forwards for Wilson to chase, and he's got the wrong side of Kilman here, into the danger zone, and Kilman recovered excellently. For the first time, Newcastle stretching Wolves, and it needed Kilman to recover, and credit to the youngster. He did just that.
Yeah, that's that one ball. What they've got is in with the man up front, Wilson. He's played a long time up front on his own, not just for Newcastle, but for Bournemouth as well.
Wilson picked up a position in between Cody and Kilman.
Yeah, it's a great recovery for him. Great recovery.
Newcastle corner, right-footed from the right-hand side, whipped in towards the near post, came to Neves on the edge of the area. And Wolves might now be able to try and launch a bit of a counter through Saiss. Pedence running ahead of him, and Saiss was caught late, and Wolves get the free kick.
Yeah, so they just need to be careful of that, because Wilson does play on that last man. Yeah, just watching the free kick against Saiss. Lascelles. Clear free kick.
Get to more of your messages in just a minute at Mikey Burrows, at Wolves on social media. Use the hashtag Wolves Live. Send us your predictions, your thoughts on the game so far. Anything you'd like Tomo, Carl Ikeme and Chris Iwelumo to discuss at half-time. Semedo being forced backwards by Lewis. Infield to Neves, back to Cody. Deep inside his own half. Low to the feet of Kilman. Space in front of him to bring it up to halfway. Back in field to Neves, who's looked bright and busy early on. He found Bolly. Bolly to Dendonka. First time wide for Semedo. Blocked off by Lewis as he tried to feed it down the line for Neto. Semedo trying to win it back, and a free kick is given against Nelson Semedo. I'm not entirely sure that should have been Newcastle's ball there. Looked like Semedo was just trying to get a foot in, and Lewis got an arm up in his face. Not that we're not biased.
Never.
Tomo still maintains that Pedence wasn't offside on Monday night.
Well, not getting involved in that now, mates. It's behind us now. It's behind us now, Mikey.
We won the game. It didn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. It's behind us now.
There's Lascelles. Long diagonal ball. Saiss off balance, but got something on it to send it out of play for a Newcastle throw.
I was going to say, I don't think he realised how low it was coming, and he just got his foot just onto it.
Needed to, as Jacob Murphy was looking dangerous down that right-hand side for Newcastle, had Saiss missed it. So that'll be taken by Fabian Schär. A short one. Neves trying to win possession back. Almiron just held off a couple of challenges. Found Lewis wide for Saint-Maximin. Trying to skip away from Neto and Semedo, turning and finding Almiron, who was out wide. Left-footed cross from him is a deep one, so he's got his head to it. He'll go out of play for a Newcastle throw on the far side, about 10 yards from the corner flag.
Yeah, so Newcastle, a little bit of success now, just a little bit more possession. Again, so but with them pushing forward, hopefully we can just counter-attack. And get bodies up there, because before that, they've got a lot of bodies behind the ball.
Schär's throw down the line for Fraser. That came off Kilman and will be a Newcastle corner. The away side are just growing into it a little bit more after an excellent first 15 minutes from Wolves. Some really good interplay, one-touch stuff. Jimenez had a couple of opportunities that, given his exacting high standards, he would have hoped to have done a little bit better from. Daniel Pedence too has had a couple of efforts from in and around the edge of the penalty area. Fraser's corner, right footed from the right-hand side, hanging high. Kilman got a touch on it to send it out the far side of the area. Almiron, cross blocked off by Neves, Newcastle throw.
It's great closing down by Neves. He's sprinted 30, 40 yards to get across to Almiron out this left-hand side for Newcastle.
It'll be Jamal Lewis to take the throw. So just about 21 minutes played. In fact, he'll leave it for Fernandez to take. Almiron and Lewis in field and just ahead of him, midway inside the Wolves half. Saint-Maximin made the short run, collected it on the chest and made it off Neto, back to Lascelles. Newcastle were always going to have a period in the game.
Yeah. look, so you're not expecting a team. So we did it against Leeds where we had 2 or 3 moments in that first half. And you're going to have a little bit of possession. But so they have started well, Wolves. So look, again, Newcastle having a little bit more of the ball. Just got to ease themselves back into it again.
Feels like the best moments from Wolves have come from pressing high and winning the ball back.
It has.
Forcing mistakes. There's one there from Wilson. It's going to go out of play for a Wolves throw.
It just looks like their build-up play is allowing Wolves just to get plenty of people behind the ball, and it's not really pulling them around at the moment. So where Wolves' sharp play was definitely pulling Newcastle around.
Wolves have had a little bit of an issue with scoring first half goals. It's not always been the way. In fact, it's rarely been the way of recent times.
You can change those times, though. You can change those.
Failed to score in the first half in 33 of the last 45 Premier League matches. There's Jimenez driving forwards, though when they are in front at half-time, they invariably go on to win. So a first half goal could end up being crucial. Here's Cody. Out to the right-hand side to Neto. Semedo down the line. Neto looking infield. We'll play it backwards to Bolly. Back to Pedro Neto. Trying to find Podence, but it'll touch off Almiron. Bolly trying to win it back. Hendrick for Lewis. Under pressure from Semedo, trying to press high. Lewis takes a tumble and wins a pretty soft free kick.
Well, he had nowhere to go, didn't he? All you had to do was just bide your time, Semedo. He couldn't pass it. The only place he could go, Lewis, was out of play. Just waiting for the contact to come.
Rocking chair Dave's in his warm, cosy flat in lockdown in Wales. Says we're playing well, but need a finish. He's going for a hopeful 2-0 to Wolves. Auntie P feeling disconnected on the Shifnal sofa. Says nephew James listening to us loud and clear on an Athens rooftop, sipping Long Island iced tea. Hoping for a brace from the pocket rocket Podence. Patricio playing the ball to Cody. Now for Willy Bolly. Out to Semedo. Back to Bolly. To Connor Cody once more. Long ball forwards for Neto to try and chase and put some pressure on Fernandez. And he's managed to steal the ball away from him here, Pedro Neto. He's got support arriving from Raul Jimenez, who was deep. To his left-hand side to Neves, further out to the touchline to Saiz. Took one touch, now trying to skip past his man, and the ball's going to end up running out of play for a goal kick.
Oh, that's a shame, because Neto did brilliant, didn't he? Against Fernandez down in this bottom right, well, Wolves' right-hand side. So he gets the ball, just didn't have the support up there with him because he made that solo run already.
Long kick forwards up to halfway. Willy Bolly under pressure from Callum Wilson. Infield to Cody. Wilson chased him all the way, but Cody found Kilman. 25 minutes played at Molineux. Wolves 0, Newcastle 0. Mentioned just before kickoff how many of the matches in the Premier League between these two have been score draws. It's been hard to separate them. You have to go back to 1993 for the last time Wolves beat Newcastle at home in the league. There's Jimenez on the turn. Podence midway inside the Newcastle half. Fights Kilman into the attack. Can play it out to the touchline for Saiz. Now back infield to Podence. Dendoncker. Neves. Back to Cody in the centre circle. Leaves it for Neves, who sweeps it first time wide for Semedo. Semedo trying to flick it down the line for Neto, who will just about keep it in and then play it off Almiron for a Wolves throw.
Yeah, so they're zipping it around Wolves. So look, Newcastle have got everybody back. I think maximum is the most advanced for them. And I think the way they're playing, if they can just zip it around, it's just, again, it's just that final part that's just missing at the minute.
Semedo back to Cody in the centre circle. To the left-hand side of it to Kilman. Now to Saiz. He had Jimenez making a run down the left-hand touchline. It's noticeable how Wolves forward players have been very interchangeable. Neto's through the middle at the minute and Pedence on the right. Cody.
Yeah, and they've just got the 5 across the back at the moment, haven't they?
Neves, important touch. Jimenez for Saiz. Back infield to Neves. Now to Dendoncker. Swept low to the feet of Willy Bolly. Had to wait for the ball to come to him. Found Semedo wide. Back to Bolly on the halfway. Just dropping his shoulder and turning away from Callum Wilson. Then scooping one forwards that was unfortunate not to find Dendoncker. And out of position, Alan Saint-Maximin now trying to drive forwards for Newcastle. Support from Almiron down their left-hand side. Semedo is there and back comes Dendoncker to get a foot in at the expense of a throw.
Yeah, so that's where they need to be careful. Just need to be careful about giving the possession away and just getting caught on the counter themselves. Just watching the way that Newcastle defenders run. Wolves got the ball. They've got that flat line of 5 at the back. And they've got those couple of midfielders in there just protecting them. So it is difficult, but I think that if they move the ball quickly, opportunities will come.
Fernandez dropping the ball in short for Murphy. Wide to the right-hand side to Fraser. 25 yards from the Wolves' goal. Support from Saint-Maximin. Plays it wide again for Fraser and then gets it back. Closed down by Neves, who couldn't quite steal the ball from him. Saint-Maximin goes down and Newcastle get a free kick. A fairly wide position. Saint-Maximin, a lot of people liken him to Adama Traore, who's part of the Wolves substitutes bench.
Oh, no, I'm just watching the replay.
It was Neto who challenged him.
He's chipping over the ball before he gets to Neto. No, not for me.
Newcastle free kick.
You can giggle all you want, Michael.
There's never been a free kick given against Wolves that Tomo didn't disagree with. Fraser's delivery. Wolves clear it from the near post. Almiron midway inside the Wolves half. Looking left for Saint-Maximin first of all. He's closed down by Dendoncker. Almiron picks up on it. He's got Lewis wide. Here's Saint-Maximin. Closed down and ball taken off him by Neves, who immediately looks left to try and switch the play, and it needed an important headed interception by Murphy as Jimenez and Pedence were threatening to break forwards. They're kind of the wrong way round.
Yeah,
them there.
I was just about to say that. So like Jimenez would have had a better chance of winning that ball in the air there and flicking it on for Pedence, but unfortunately opposite way around.
You're asking Daniel Pedence to challenge in the air and flick it on for Jimenez was maybe a stretch too far.
Yeah, maybe.
He stretched as far as he could. He wasn't going to get anywhere near it. He's on the ball now, though. Crunching challenge came in that the referee's happy with. You heard the scream from Daniel Pedence, who has stayed down. In the meantime, Newcastle with Fraser. Early cross goes straight into the arms of Patricio. Pedence still down, and Lee Mason will stop the play now to go and check on Daniel Pedence. You heard the scream immediately as the challenge came in from, I think, Fabian Schär.
Well, his touch just got away from him, didn't it, Pedence? I thought he got the ball. I don't know if it would have been his trailing leg.
Yeah, I think he does get the ball.
Yeah, he does win the ball. It's his trailing leg, I think, who catches him. Yeah, his knee's gone onto his ankle. He's just watching that. As he's gone in, his knee's come down on Pedence's ankle there. So there's no problem with the tackle as such, but it was the momentum when he's actually coming in that he just come down on it.
Saw one for him. In the meantime, Willy Bolly for Connor Cody. Now to Romain Saiz for Max Kilman. Dendoncker, midway inside his own half, to his right-hand side to Bolly, who dropped a shoulder and was closed down by Almiron, but it will be a Wolves throw. So we have played just about 31 minutes so far. Wolves having much the better of the possession. Some decent opportunities. Haven't been able to find a breakthrough. Bolly to Semedo. Back to Connor Cody. Now for Max Kilman. Kilman able to find Podence, who was out wide. Back to Max Kilman again. Newcastle trying to push up a little bit further now. Saiss goes infield to Neves, turns well and finds Willy Bolly. Bolly out to Jimenez on the right-hand touchline on halfway. Infield to Neves again, who is orchestrating things at the moment. His pass is blocked off by Hendrick. Cody, good pass to find the feet of Saiss over the halfway line. Wide left to Daniel Podence. Ball looking infield for Dendoncker, read by Lascelles, who clears as far as Kilman. Neto for Neves. He's had a very good game so far, Ruben Neves.
Yeah, his passing's been good, hasn't he?
Dendoncker, lovely spin and turn and found Romain Saiss on the left-hand side, who fires a cross in, too much on it, behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, he's just unlucky. He's unlucky. He just tried to get his foot round it, didn't he, and whip it in with some pace on it. He just didn't get round it enough.
Sue from Molineux reckons we're looking lively so far, hoping for a good win today. Christina, I think it's 2-1 Wolves. Says eventually she'll be correct. Lucky scarf is on. Come on, you Wolves, Christina in Wisconsin. Suggesting they'll just tune in for the second half, and that's normally when Wolves come to life. They've done pretty well in this first half, including for this man Neto running down the right-hand side. He's going to get a throw deep inside the Newcastle half. Jamal Lewis disagreed.
Yeah, I think the official did the right decision, didn't it? You could see the Neto hit it off him.
Throw infield to Jimenez, didn't reach him. Hendrick's touch. Semedo will get another chance. Jimenez is very deep, isn't he?
Yeah.
Dendoncker and Podence were ahead of him.
I know you talk about rotating round and moving around, but I still prefer Jimenez to be a little bit more advanced than where he is. 2 or 3 times now he's come quite deep, hasn't he?
There's Saiss, infield to Podence. His turn to be a little bit deep. Trying to make something happen. Pass towards Jimenez was intercepted by Almiron. We'll go back to Darlow, who's saved from Daniel Podence early on, as probably the best chance of the game so far. Hendrick out to the right-hand side for Murphy. Trying to cross early towards Wilson. Bolly got a touch to it and Cody helping him out.
Yeah, as long as the sort out who's got Wilson. So that would be the only thing that I'd worry about defending, because Wilson's working his way across the 3 lads at the back. Just make sure that somebody has got him, that he doesn't break away, because that's when he's a threat, because he is a goal scorer.
Kilman gets it back from Podence to Cody. Could be yards short of the centre circle. The ball to Jimenez, who tried to flick it round the corner for Neto. Cleared away by Lascelles. Neves back to Willy Bolly. Wolves have had 60% possession so far, which is pretty rare.
It is, isn't it?
The last couple of games.
Well, if you compare it to the Leeds game. So it's
93% accurate with their passing as well, which is much improved for Monday night. Here's Neto down the right-hand side. Trying to skip back infield on his left foot here. Now trying to lift across in. It was too high for Raul Jimenez.
You can see what he's trying to do, and he just got a little bit too much on it. Just trying to pick him out, wasn't he? He's having a little bit of success down this right-hand side, Neto, against Lewis. Just got to keep going.
He's played a lot more on kind of the inside left this season. So maybe I was just thinking about something where Newcastle would have predicted how Wolves would go, with Podence on the right and Neto on the left. Switched it over, try and cause some issues.
Yeah, so here we go again, pressing it high again.
Sells on the edge of his penalty area. To the right-hand side to Scher. Infield to St. Maximum. Murphy, closed down by Saiss. St. Maximum helped him out, and he's got away from 2 Wolves challenges. Up to Wilson. First time setting it for Fraser. Fraser up towards the edge of the penalty area, lifting his cross in. Patricio called for it. And the way we can tell is because Bolly ducked his head at the key moment to allow his goalkeeper to come and claim.
Yeah, it's great goalkeeper, isn't it? Made it clear that he was coming for it. So you just saw it, just mentioned there. Bolly just ducking down and letting it go into the goalkeeper's hands.
Dendoncker for Saiz. Back to Kilman. Played 36.5 minutes so far at Molineux. Still 0-0. Bolly. Good ball forwards to Neto. Has support from Semedo. Podence is infield for him. And he's got time to turn. And looking around, he'll go back out to the right-hand side to Neto. Infield to Neves. Neves pointing. Give it to Neto, to Semedo. First time to Neves. Helped on for Neto. Right-hand side of the penalty area. Neto to the byline. Tried to fizz his cross in. Header away. Only as far as Dendoncker. First time wide for Saiz. Brilliant piece of play that from Wolves. It just didn't quite get the numbers in the penalty area when Neto suddenly found the ball at his feet there.
Well, there's that thing about gambling again. Just have a gamble, expect it to happen. Because it was great play. So look, Neto's there. He's got nobody to pass to, nobody to pick out.
Oh, Jimenez has lost possession to Almiron, who's looking to drive through the middle. He's got Wilson to his right-hand side. Almiron, he's got more support from Sam Maximum. He's trying to get a deep cross, and it's too deep and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, so you look at the bodies that got back. So the 6 players got back to help out. Even Jimenez running back there on the edge of the penalty area. But just getting back to that Neto one, so it was a great play. Great little ball to him.
Yeah, Neto, Semedo, Neves. And that's what Ruben Neves can do.
Yeah. And that's why we've said about him playing more advanced areas as well, because he can do that. He's got the ability to pick that pass and open up defences.
Just needed somebody to be running in the middle of the penalty area. Would have had themselves a tap in.
Yeah, because the keepers had to come and close him down. So he took the keeper out of the game. But unfortunately, just didn't have anybody more advanced than him.
Saiz for Dendoncker. Now out to the left-hand side to Podence. Back in field to Ruben Neves. Switch the play for Willy Bolly. Over the halfway line comes the big defender. Wide for Semedo. Twisting and turning, trying to find some room. Found Neves. Back out wide, just about squeezed it through to Neto, to Semedo, back to Neto. Now infield to Neves. Options to his left, one of which is Saiz. Podence is further wide, just outside the penalty area. Podence right on the edge of the box. Oh, lovely bit of turn and trickery. Lifts his cross in. It just couldn't quite reach Jimenez. Newcastle with the numbers back and the big clearance to the halfway line.
Oh, so it's a great play with Podence out there again. Good build-up play. Neves involved again.
Saiz, Podence, twisting again, managing to skip away from his man again, and then looked like he was brought down by Murphy, but Murphy came away with the ball and then passed it straight to Ruben Neves. And Neves, 30 yards from goal, switching it here for Neto. Neto cutting back infield on his left foot. Wasn't really an option wide, has to go back to Bolly. Nuno's not looking very happy down in front of us.
No, I don't know if he thinks that was a free kick.
I think he just wanted Semedo wider. And Semedo, a lovely ball for Neto. Oh, Neto, sliding challenge by Almiron. Poor challenge, and Lee Mason will reach for his notebook. And a yellow card for Miguel Almiron.
Yeah, just a little bit too clever for him, wasn't he? Just moved the ball. And Almiron just comes sliding in, nowhere near it. But again, it's been some good play from Wolves. Oh, yeah.
Tried to get there as soon as he could.
Yeah, he's just a little bit too quick for him, isn't he? He just shifted the ball.
Wolves beginning to step it up again towards the end of the half as we go into the final 5 minutes. Neto with the free kick. A couple of yards in from the right-hand touchline. Not far from being level with the edge of the penalty area. Newcastle's defensive line is just end of the penalty spot. Neto whipping in. It was just behind Raul Jimenez. And Wilson will try and run the ball clear. And he has support from Miguel Almiron. It's being held up by Podence. Big crossfield ball looking for Sam Maximum. He's got support arriving from Lewis, but he might not need any of them as he cuts in field. Strikes it deflected, and a good save by Rui Patricio. Low down to his left-hand side. The deflection could have wrong-footed him. But Portugal's number one was equal to the challenge.
I think it just took enough of the sting of the ball out of it for him to be able to adjust it.
Might have been 2 deflections there, you know, as well.
Yeah, I think that I think he did enough just to take the pace of the ball off him. But that's what they've got to be careful of.
Yeah, the extra touch off Cody might just have sent it back into the path of Rui Patricio. The initial deflection looked like he was heading for the bottom corner.
It was. So lucky there just to get away with it. But I think it took the pace out of the ball as well.
Wolves 0, Newcastle 0. Just about 3 minutes plus time to be added on until the break. Thoughts of Carl Ikeme and Chris Iwelumo, of course. There's Murphy. Trying to get away from Saiz. Ball in behind. Wilson would have been offside. He'll go all the way through to Patricio, who was running around his penalty area trying to keep warm when Wolves were last on the attack.
Not saying it, I don't think either keeper had that much to do. Darlow's probably had to move a little bit more in his area, but apart from that.
Jimenez twisting and turning. Playing it backwards for Connor Cody. Base of the centre circle, looking forwards though. Played it to the left to Kilman. To Podence, back in field to Kilman. Now to Ruben Neves, to Cody for Willy Bolly. Wolves with plenty of players who are comfortable on the ball as Bolly then lifts a high one down the line looking for Neto. Just an awkward bounce on it. Allowed Lascelles to use his frame to get in front of Neto and see it behind.
Yeah, once it bounced, unless Neto got some kind of touch on it, Lascelles was always going to be favourite to the ball.
Just seeing the replay of Daniel Podence turning Jacob Murphy inside out a moment or so ago.
Great bit of skill, wasn't it?
Learned that from you, didn't he, Tomo?
Oh, of course.
A little rolling the foot over the ball. That's the skills of Andy Thompson back in the day. Maybe he was watching the old Pathé film of you back in the late 80s, early 90s. He's trying to clear to halfway. A decent enough first half, this from Wolves.
It has been. So look, there's been some good play. The only thing they'll probably be disappointed is the final product. They haven't really tested the keeper as much as they should do, but there's been some good play.
Wally trying to get a touch on it. Almiron wide for Lewis. Semedo came across and did enough to play it off the Newcastle man for a Wolves throw. Dendoncker back for Semedo. Nice turn away from Almiron. Almiron thought he was going to smash it left-footed, and Semedo, comfortably enough, first of all to turn, and then second of all there to lift it over a Newcastle man to find Cody on the edge of his own box.
I was going to say the edge of his penalty area was the bit that I liked. But again, so he's comfortable in what he's doing, isn't he?
Neves down the left-hand side for Podence. He's got support from Ruben Neves again. Here comes the fourth officials board. In the meantime, Dendoncker to the right-hand side for Semedo. 1 minute being added on at the end of the first half here. Semedo for Neves. For Kilman, midway inside the half. Out to the left-hand side for Saiz. Podence is infield, finds him, being tracked by Fabian Schär. And Podence turning away from him superbly. And again turning away from him, and then infield, and still going, and eventually Saint-Maximin slid in and grabbed the ball back from him.
He's enjoyed himself in this first half, hasn't he?
If it keeps going like that, they might have to get a second ball out there, because Podence looks like he wants to keep that one himself. There's a few Newcastle players going to need some masseuse treatment, the way their bodies have been twisted and turned by Podence so far. Jimenez now finding Podence again, 25 yards from goal, infield to Dendoncker. And the referee blows the halftime whistle just as Dendoncker was about to line up a shot from distance. And Wolves players are gathering around Lee Mason, fuming that they didn't get that chance to at least get the strike away.
Yeah, so disappointed. It's half time. So they're still arguing with him, but not going to change his mind now.
And Connor Cody's gone to have a word as well. Wolves are fuming. It's not often Wolves actually have a dig from distance. So you can maybe understand why Dendonka's so frustrated. He finally got a bit of an opening to have a go. And Lee Mason said, no, we've played enough.
Yeah, it's half time. There you go. But they've been sharp in that first half, haven't they? So they look sharp, especially in the 2/3. Just that top third that's just letting them down at the moment. They would, I suppose, Nuno will be disappointed that they haven't tested the keeper a little bit more with the good possession that they've had. It's been some great play, a little sharp play, a little 1-2, little flicks, and they've done well. But it's just left them, apart from that Pedance effort, and Jimenez, where he possibly be a bit disappointed with himself, where he's come onto his left side, because it was a great play by Neto for that as well. But overall, I suppose they'll be happy that they've at least took the game to Newcastle a little bit. The only thing they'll probably be disappointed about is the chances that they've created.
More from Andy Thompson to come. We'll also get the thoughts, of course, of Chris Iwelumo and Carl Ikeme in just 1 second. Don't go anywhere. This is Matchday Live Extra from Wolves TV.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
This season, the Old Gold Club and Wolves TV Matchday Live are powered by Blythe Group, an industry-leading construction company and family-run business since 1982, driving investment and infrastructure across the UK. Blythe Group's mission is to provide an unrivaled service based on innovative, bespoke building solutions and comprehensive customer support. If you're a skilled tradesperson and you want to join the team that powers our team, contact their bases in Wolverhampton, Manchester or Maidenhead via theblythegroup.co.uk. Blythe Group, big enough to deliver, small enough to care.
Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
So welcome back to Molineux, half-time then. Wolves 0, Newcastle 0. Let me just run you through some of the stats from that first half, because Wolves had 65% of the possession, 4 shots to Newcastle's 2. They're only 1 on target for either side. Wolves 1 corner, Newcastle 2. Pass success rate, by the way, Wolves up there at 93% in that first half, 349 successful passes. They've been pretty decent with their long passing as well. They've had quite a few more, in fact, pretty much double the amount of dribbles that Newcastle had in the first half as well. So all in all, at the moment, Chris Iwelumo, it's not a bad performance so far. I don't know whether Chris Iwelumo can hear us. Carl Ikeme, what have you made of the first half?
Yeah, I thought we played some good stuff at times. I feel like we lack a little bit of penetration. I think the first 10 minutes we were good, and then I think Newcastle come into it a little bit. But I think when Neves started getting on the ball a little bit more, he started to bring the link between the back line and Jimenez and Pedance. But I just feel that we need a few more runs in behind them. I feel like maybe it might be the game to open up a little bit. Saiss has been solid and been good, but I wouldn't mind seeing Marcel on or Hoover on to really start running at him. I feel like that's what we need. We need Semedo, our fullbacks, to really be stretching Newcastle, because I think the game's here for the taking today.
There's been some really nice kind of one-touch play there, hasn't there? Especially getting Neto in a couple of times down that right-hand side. They just didn't quite have the numbers in the penalty area.
Yeah, I think we've played some nice football at times. I think Neto and Podence look sharp. Jimenez keeps dropping off. You can see he's getting frustrated. He keeps dropping to the left, trying to get the ball. But I feel like we've looked sharp in areas. And I've been impressed with Neves. I felt like he's dictated the game. I was a bit worried. I think it was about the 15-minute mark that we were going back to front too quickly, and we weren't really getting the ball into Podence and Neto in really good areas. But since he's sort of took control of the game, I feel like we've started to get them players in better areas. It's just that final third, final pass, a bit more penetration, a bit more running in behind. I think it will open up more chances for us.
Tomo, you mentioned in commentary, Ruben Neves coming into the starting lineup today. I've been really impressed with him so far.
I have as well. He's wide range of passing as well. He's picking out and passing. We saw that little outside of his right foot down to Neto as well, which was a great ball. And look, there ain't many players who could do that or spot that pass, and he can. I like it that he's been more advanced as well. I like it that he's been there or thereabouts, because there's one early on in the first half where he's at the back post, actually competing for a header. So if that's what he's going to do, and maybe Nuno said to him, we need to get you up there a little bit more, keep switching around with Dendoncker, because when he has gone up there, Dendoncker seems to have sat in a little bit or be the deeper of the midfield player. So look, if that's what he's going to do, and look, there's no doubt about his passing, his range of passing, he can pick that out and say you've got him, you've got Connor Cody, who's done really well with the diagonals out to Neto on this right-hand side. And as Carl just touched on there, he'll be disappointed that they just haven't created that clear-cut chance, or a few more of them in that first half.
It's Ruben Neves' ability, Chris Iwelumo, to almost dictate the tempo at times. And because he's being a lot sharper to move that ball than sometimes we've seen from that midfield position this season, it's allowing Wolves to get at Newcastle a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I have to say, I think we've been excellent. I think again, I think we're controlling the game with the ball, aren't we? So he's having that time to get forward in advanced areas. And like Tomo said there, I think Neves and Dendoncker have to share that responsibility. There was a massive chance, the one that Jimenez, he's took a shot on with the left, and I think he can just roll it to Podence there. And Podence has got the goal at his mercy, really. But it's just little moments. It's very evident that Steve Bruce has came with a game plan with the way that he set Newcastle up to basically try and counter-attack football with the pace that they've got in the team, and try and catch us out that way. And they've had moments. We've dealt with it well. And I just think with as much of the ball that we've had, and it's us being spoiled. We are controlling the game, but we haven't really created that clear-cut chance, and that's what's disappointing. But again, if we keep with the ball, we've got the quality in the team. Neves and Dendoncker sharing that load, and that's what Neves is going to do against teams where we're going to dominate. He's going to get forward, but against teams that are going to dominate us with the ball, he's not going to get forward as much. So it's nice to see him in that role.
Carl Ikeme, Daniel Podence has quite a few times turned, twisted, found himself some opportunities. How much do you think that he could be the man to unlock it second half?
I think so, especially in these games where there's not been that many chances. He's shown his little bits of magic. He's got great feet, low centre of gravity. If you think he's going one way, he's gone the next. But my only gripe with him, if anything, is I'd like to see it a bit further up the pitch, in them areas around the box. And then I think he can start to hurt Newcastle a lot more. I think that's my only gripe with the first half. I think we were good, we controlled the game, but I think it just needs to be a bit higher up the pitch now. And Newcastle are playing quite a flat back five and the three in midfield. I think if we keep changing play, that's why I was so impressed with Neves. If you can keep changing play and start getting runners, I feel like we need to get Semedo and Saïs, if he's there, running past the fullbacks to really start stretching him. It's going to give Podence more space and Neto more space to work in. And I think that would be my only hope going into the second half, is that we can find Podence more around that edge of the box. Because if he goes one way and goes the next against a Newcastle player in the edge of the box, he's in on goal.
Just on the back of that, Podence, he comes into deeper areas because defensively without the ball, he is quite responsible. He probably works too hard to try and do that defensive job. And then when he does receive the ball, but like Carl says, sometimes he has to cheat just a little bit and have faith in the midfielders that when we do break it, he's our furthest point. And like you say, we do want to see him getting on the ball and creating in that attacking third. But he does work ever so hard without the ball, and that's why he is a little bit deeper, you know.
One of the things that Carl mentioned, Tomo and Looms, before you boys rejoined us for half-time, was the possibility of a more natural left wing back on that outside. Obviously, Ryan Aït-Nouri could potentially come on for his debut. Is that something that you'd like to see?
Look, say we want players to make the debut and come on and impress. But for me, I think he's doing a decent enough job down there. Possibly just needs somebody who's a little bit more attack minded in. But look, we can see what he can offer us up that top end with the goal already going against Leeds. Where he had that strike, and I know it was disallowed, but he does offer that size. He's got a great left foot. He's good in the air as well. So for set plays, so he does offer things down that left hand side. And look, at the moment, Wolves have played pretty well in that first half. I think that he'll be happy with the way that they pass the ball, the sharpness of the play. He'll be disappointed with the top third and the way that we've played in that top third. But a bit of a talk, maybe telling people just to have a go. I spoke about it before the game. Neto's got into there. He's got nobody to pass it to. And unfortunately, that's what we've got to do. We've got to try and get bodies in there. We've got to try and have a gamble. Just expect somebody to get past a player or get into the box just to offer that support.
But Tom, what we've got to remember is that's why we've got a substitutes bench. You know, if players aren't quite at it, or if they're doing an okay job, we've got players that are chomping at the bit to come on and make that change, make that impact in a game. So again, I think Saiss, the final ball into the box has probably let him down a couple of times. Yeah, excellent. He does his job defensively, going forward. He's getting there, but it is breaking down in the final third. So if it's Ryan Aït-Nouri coming on, and then if he makes a positive impact, it's job done. That's why it's a squad game now, Tom, isn't it? Yeah. So everyone's got a part to play. If someone's not quite at it, if Neves isn't quite at it, then Moutinho comes in and does his job. Dendoncker was sat on the bench, but every time Dendoncker come off the bench, he made an impact. He scored a goal. He got us into the match. That's the whole point of having substitutes, Ben. So at the minute, we're 64% possession. We've not really created chances, but we've got players on the bench that can come on and make that difference.
But that's what they'll do, though. Nuno will make changes. So if he doesn't think it's working, he's a manager who won't just sit there and go, we'll just let it see what happens. He'll make changes. He'll bring Traore on, okay? So he might do that. So just an impact. He'll bring players on if he thinks that it's going to improve the way that they perform.
Yeah, it wasn't a slight on Saïss's performance. I think Saïss has been solid. I think he's done his job. I just felt there's going to be games where it's going to pan out differently to maybe what you thought. I'm sure Nuno's going into the game wanting possession and stuff and wanting to press Newcastle, but for me, I just want to see a bit more penetration. And I know it's not natural to say to keep running behind the fullbacks and taking fullbacks on. That's why I just feel like we just need a bit more penetration going forward, whether that's on Stiles' side or somebody else. I feel like we just need a bit more, not legs in a sense. He's got the legs, but a few more runners going forward.
Okay, boys, hopefully there is some goals to come in the second half. I think the players are not too far away. Newcastle are coming down the steps. More from Iwelumo and Carl Ikeme after the final whistle. Don't go anywhere, because hopefully there is plenty to come from this Wolves team in the second half. This is Wolves TV, Matchday Live.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blight Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blight Group. Wolves TV, the home of live, uninterrupted radio commentary of every single Wolves game.
Here it is! Oh, you beauty!
But that's not all. Wolves TV also brings you extended and alternative match highlights, interviews with the team, behind-the-scenes features and training coverage, plus see every goal Wolves score from every angle.
Jota on the volley, what a goal! That is simply stunning!
So check out Wolves TV online at wolves.co.uk or on the move via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
So Newcastle are back out. Wolves are just joining them once they've gone through their little pre-second half fitness routine from Antonio Diaz and the fitness staff, Shao Lapper, those as well. The extensive back room. We put so much effort into preparing these players to get them ready. Wolves will play right to left as we look at it second half, defending the Sir Jack Hayward South Bank away to our right-hand side, attacking the Stancullis North Bank away to our left. Steve Ball stand on the far side with the banners still over the bottom tier. The strength of the Wolf is in the pack. And hopefully the Wolf will come strong in this second period.
Yeah, you would hope that the general play, the play as well as they did in the first half, just with a little bit more, being a bit more clinical in that top third.
There's Lascelles, no changes from either side at the break. So Newcastle with Darlow in goal. Back three of Scher, Lascelles and Fernandez, Murphy and Lewis, their wing backs. Hendrick, Almiron, San Maximim and Fraser, all supporting Callum Wilson. Wolves with Patricio in goal, Bolly, Cody, Kilman, Semedo and Saiz, the wing backs, Neves, Dendoncker, and then Neto, Jimenez and Pedence. Here is Kilman. Up towards left-hand touchline, through the legs by Pedence. Jimenez taking it forwards. Jimenez having a go from distance, slicing across the ball though, and well wide of the left-hand post of Carl Darlow.
Yeah, he just hasn't, you can just see him there, a bit animated. He just hasn't found his range or his direction at the moment, as Jimenez. But again, good little play from Pedence, just putting it through the player's legs. And it did open up for him. It did open up, it was about 20, 23 yards out or something like that. Just hit across it and he went out for a goal kick. But again, he's got the confidence to have a go.
Here is Darlow. Saiz's header. Neves will head it back all the way to Patricio. I don't know if you noticed, Tomo, as well. It was Jimenez shooting from outside the penalty area there as well.
I know.
I wonder whether something's been said there.
Well,
a couple of times.
We've said a few times about that we don't think that we shoot enough outside of the box. And maybe it's one of the things that are changing. We talk about them evolving. Maybe that's one of the points.
Here's Neto on halfway. Playing it backwards to Willy Bolly. Neto again. Back to Bolly. Deeper in his own half to Cody. Sweeps it first time. Right-footed to the feet of Kilman. Closed down by Wilson. Back infield to Cody. Going to hit a diagonal ball out to Semedo. Perfect pass by Cody again. Semedo infield to Neves. Back out to the right-hand side. Neto took it before it reached Dendoncker. Back to Neves again. Trying to turn away from San Maximim, who pushed him over. Wolves free kick. Neves gets on with it quickly and gets the ball back from Dendoncker. And again, inviting Kilman to raid forwards into the Newcastle half. To Cody. Again with a diagonal ball out towards Semedo. Murphy Lewis just with a touch on it. That'll play for a Wolves throw.
If you watch a couple of times as well, when Connor Cody's just about to play that ball out wide, Dendoncker's gone a couple of times.
Or strong run this by Semedo into the penalty area. Dendoncker teeing it up for Neves on the edge of the box, trying to clip across into the danger zone. And Murphy, no nonsense, just hooked it away when he probably had a bit more time than he realised. Wilson, Neves wanted a free kick for a handball. San Maximim over the halfway line. Hits the heels of Almiron and Bolly. Back to Cody, and Wolves have possession again.
Yeah, so they're well grouping up there. Just getting onto that chance there, Connor Cody put when he's hitting those diagonal balls, then Donker staying out right and running wide, and running inside, taking Lewis with him. So that's leaving the ball open then for Semedo, which he's done. And we've seen that times before with Doherty doing exactly the same.
There is Nelson Semedo. Down the line for Neto, looking to drift infield. Gives it to Neves, low across the centre circle for Kilman. Kilman to Pedence, back to Kilman. Wide for Saiz. Trying to find the feet of Neto, who'd come over to a central and then left position. Pedence, nice little bit of trickery from him again. Cutting infield on his right foot. Attempted cross blocked by Lascelles. Wolves throw.
He's looked sharp, hasn't he, Pedence? He's done a few little things that we've seen in the game so far. where he has opened up that space again, but it just hasn't happened at the moment in there. We just need to get him on the ball.
There's Dendoncker. Back to Cody, just inside the centre circle in the Wolves half. To Neves, back to Bolly, now to Cody again. First time to the feet of Kilman, over halfway for Saiz. Thought that Neto was coming short, he wasn't, and Newcastle intercepted. But Kilman and Dendoncker win it back comfortably. And Dendoncker finding Pedence on the left-hand side, looking to drive into the penalty area. Low ball back, Neto striking just over the top of the crossbar. Head in hands moment for Pedro Neto on his weaker foot. Came across to him nicely at a good height. Just couldn't quite keep it down.
Yeah, just on his right foot as well, wasn't it? He had good contact on it, but good work from Dendoncker just to win the ball back. But Pedence involved again. Great little spot on the edge of the box. Yeah, he's got good contact and he just couldn't get over the top of it. That's on his left. I think that's a goal. Oh,
big puff of the cheeks from Pedro Neto.
He knows he should have done better. He'd be disappointed. But again, Pedence involved in it. Then this left-hand side.
Just less than 6 minutes gone at the start of the second half. Still 0-0 at Molineux. There's Saint-Maximin. Wide to Murphy on the outside. Further on to Fraser. Attempted cross blocked off by Kilman at the expense of a corner. Just having to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, they need to be, because I say, look, I think Newcastle are defending deep anyway. If they get a goal, who knows how deep they'll be.
There's Saint-Maximin from a short corner and overhits his pass for Fraser and behind for a goal kick. 81% possession Wolves have had in the second half so far.
Yeah,
that's remarkable.
It is. I think that is it a thing for what we've seen from the Leeds game where we hardly had any, and is it something that, like I said, they've got more of a week this week at working on things? Have they done that in training, where they're trying to dominate the ball? Because Newcastle are backing off them, and that probably helps a little bit as well.
Neves' ball out to Semedo. It just skipped up off the surface a bit, made it awkward to try and control. He had to try and head it down for himself. Allowed Newcastle to nip back in.
Yeah, just bounced up a little bit higher than he thought, didn't he?
Darlow with a big diagonal up towards halfway. Saiz heading it back deep into the Newcastle half for Pedence. Saiz on the overlap. Pedence finds him with a back heel. Saiz infield to Neves. Neves finding the feet of Dendoncker. Teed it off first time for Jimenez. Now to Neto. Neto on his left foot. Curling one high and wide. But well, more than willing to have the effort, Pedro Neto.
He's got the ability, hasn't he? He's got the power in it as well. Just hadn't had the direction at the moment. But they're starting to ask a little bit more, a few questions of Newcastle now.
Yeah, 3 efforts on goal, none of which on target in this second half, but it's only 8 minutes old. Carl Darlow taking his time over the goal kick, trying to take a bit of sting out of the game, maybe.
I think so. I think he's just trying to knock the rhythm of Wolves off a little bit.
Feels like the momentum is with those in gold. Dendoncker there ahead of Wilson. Back to Patricio. Short pass to his left to find Cody. Out of the penalty area to Kilman. On the left-hand side for Saiz, midway inside the Wolves half, back to Kilman.
Yeah, so they're just happy with Wolves just to have the ball, aren't they? They're just retreating to their own half.
Saiz, Neto, first time to Pedence. Scooped here to the chest of Dendoncker on the inside right, midway inside the Newcastle half. Wide for Semedo. Semedo looking to drive the ball infield. Gives it to Neves. Neves being forced wide by Saint-Maximin. Managed to skip away from a couple of challenges, and then Lewis plays it off for Ruben Neves for a Newcastle throw.
Yeah, he just couldn't get hold of the ball, could he? So he just ricocheting off him and the Newcastle players. But they've been positive. They've been positive. They took the game to Newcastle, and they have started to ask a few more questions in this second half. They've had a few more efforts as well.
Loose clearance by Scher. Saiss with an early one forwards to Neto on the Wolves' left. Turning back in field, finding Romain Saiss. You get a second chance to find a teammate. Found Neves. Turns away from 2 challenges, nearly gave it to Sam Maximin.
That was close, wasn't it? That square ball.
Saiss for Neto. Back to Kilman, just over halfway. Closed down, having to find Cody. Now to Bolly. Bolly has Semedo wide. We're inside the half, Semedo back to Bolly again. Now to Nelson Semedo. Newcastle are getting deeper and deeper.
They are. They're just inviting Wolves on. And the thing is, Wolves have got the players, if you can just get on it, break them down.
There's Neves. Across to Kilman. Now for Neto. Infield to Podence. Podence trying to turn away from Hendrick. Nice little flick in, finding Neto. Jimenez. Podence in the penalty area on his right foot. Daniel Podence striking. Big block. Wolves are appealing for a handball in there as Neves tries to sweep the ball wide. And Lee Mason just signals for the throw and nothing more.
Is he appealing for a handball, is he?
I think we are going to get a VAR check. Lee Mason just pausing it. Oh, it hits the back arm.
Oh, no.
Fernandez.
Yeah, he knew nothing of it, though, did he? Knew nothing of it.
And, well, VAR has checked it and he's happy with it. And Nuno is fuming down there. No penalty given.
I think he's fuming is because there's a couple of tough decisions gone against us before, haven't they?
I mean...
And it must be frustrating.
He turns his back on it, Fernandez. So, but his arm is out.
Yeah, his arm's out, but he's got his back to it, hasn't he? And I think the only reason why they haven't given it is because he's going down and he's got his back to the play, really.
Well, there is an allowance for putting your hand down to steady yourself when you're going to the ground. Which maybe what a save Newcastle there. Podence had plenty of opportunity to get that strike away. Chasing a ball from Saiss. Cleared away by Murphy. Hendrick wide for Fraser. Header in field. Will only find Neves, who nods it back to Cody. 57 minutes played at Molineux. Wolves with a little bit of a feeling of being hard done by. Neto for Jimenez. It was wonderful football in the build-up to it. It's good football again as Jimenez finds Semedo. Attempted cross blocked by Lewis. Throw in Wolves, less than 10 yards from the corner flag.
Yeah, I think that Wolves are starting to ask some big questions in Newcastle now. Like I say, in that first half where they're organised, they're getting back in. Now they're starting to lose players a little bit. That focus.
Throw in for Dendoncker, who couldn't hold on to it. Closes down the attempted clearance, though. Still trying to put pressure on. Podence may be the beneficiary. Takes it out towards the right-hand corner flag. Infield to Semedo. Semedo tried to flick it round Hendrick. Got too much on it.
I was going to say, you can see what he's trying to do, and he just caught it at the end of his toe, I think. He's a little bit too much on it.
Nuno is not happy down there. There's Fraser. Murphy up towards Wilson on halfway. Kilman at his back. Kilman put enough pressure on.
Did well. Because Wilson was trying to turn the ball, just knock it down the line to Murphy, but he wouldn't let him turn, put the pressure on him. He ended up kicking it out of play. It's a good play by him.
There's Dendoncker for Podence. He's got Semedo wide. Turns and looks downfield. Tried to find Jimenez, intercepted by the chest of Jamal Lascelles. 59 minutes played at Molineux. Wolves 0, Newcastle 0. Can they find a breakthrough? Finished Southampton 2, Everton 0 in the earlier kickoff today. Arsenal against Leicester is at 7:15. Yesterday, West Ham 1, Man City 1, Fulham 1, Crystal Palace 2. Man United, Chelsea was goalless. Liverpool 2, Sheffield United 1. With a winner from a certain Diogo Jota.
Yeah, header. Rare header from him.
Can Wolves keep pace at the top with a win today? With Everton dropping points. Scher wide for Murphy.
Yeah, they've just called Traore back.
It's got away from Saiz. Up towards the edge of the penalty area, just been forced a bit wide. Managed to dig his cross in. It comes through to Wilson. Trying to tee it up for Almiron, whose shot takes a couple of deflections. Kilman looped it high in the air. And Patricio then came and claimed it.
Well, that's a let-off. That's a let-off. Good defending, don't get me wrong, because they've got blocks on it. They've got themselves in front of it. But just watching it there, I thought, yeah, Bolly and Cody, I think it was, in the end, getting them in between it. Good defending, but say just got away with it a little bit.
Yeah, Bolly did well to take the sting off Almiron's initial effort. Wilson forwards again. Neves with a foot in. Newcastle throw as the away team just begin to come back into the game once more. Wolves had 80% possession. It's now down to 66% in the second half. So Newcastle very much coming back into it. Throw in by Scher. Miscontrol by him under pressure from Neto. Wolves throw down by their own corner flag.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a couple of changes from Wolves. I think Marcel and Traore.
Saiz with a throw. Jimenez with a trademark big hooked volley.
Had more height in it than distance, though, didn't it?
There wasn't really anybody out on the far side of the pitch that he was aiming for. Got a bit fortunate there. Here he is again, Jimenez, in the centre circle. Looking for Neto to his left-hand side. Neto has Saiz further wide, finds him. Saiz infield to Jimenez. Back to Cody.
Looking at that, Dendonker's up in the striker position at the moment. Jimenez in middle of midfield.
Yeah, Dendonker and Saiz are effectively the two up top. It's Dendonker's touch for Semedo. Semedo up against Almiron. Runs into him. Just about holds onto the ball. To the byline, deflected cross. Comes towards Podence, who took a touch when maybe he just needed to put his foot through it.
Oh, yeah. He's got to hit that first time, hasn't he, for me? Just hit it hard and low. There's a lot of bodies in there. It's going to cause a big problem. Yeah, so for me, he's got to hit that. As soon as he had his touch, he's closed down. Just put his foot through it.
Here's Willy Bolly over the halfway line. Down the line through the channel to Dendonker on the Wolves' right. Dendonker turning back infield, now finding Podence. 25 yards from goal. Looking for an option. Tried to scoop it wide left and easily intercepted by Murphy. Podence nearly stealing it from Murphy as he ran through his own half, but he's worked it to the left-hand side to Lewis, up to halfway. Almiron leaving it for Hendrick. Switched across for Scher, over halfway for Fraser. Space to try and run it forwards, now closed off by Neto. Back to Scher on halfway for Hendrick. Almiron in the centre circle. To the left-hand side to Federico Fernandez. Now for Lewis, looking to run at Semedo. Trying to go past him on the outside. Semedo tracked him all the way and got a touch on the ball infield to Bolly.
Yeah, did well with it against him, didn't he?
Now here comes Romain Saiz. Big crossfield ball from him, looking to Jimenez, and too much on the pass. Out of play for a throw. And Marcel and Adama Traore are stripped and ready.
Yeah, so look, I think that might be Saiz's last contribution, I think. I think Marcel was coming to that left-hand side.
Well, Newcastle will be able to take the throw. Wolves haven't quite got the substitutes board ready just yet. Lascelles header away. Out of play for a Wolves throw, midway inside the Newcastle half. Semedo to throw it back to Cody. Infield to Kilman. Now for Saiz. Neto wide over the halfway line. Back to Romain Saiz again. Now to Ruben Neves. Infield to Cody. Could be short of the centre circle. To Bolly. Back to Cody once more. Now for Neves. Leaves it for Kilman. Newcastle very deep as Kilman plays it wide for Saiz. Back infield to Max Kilman, just to the left of the centre circle.
Just need a runner, didn't they, in front of them? So everything's quite flat against them at the minute. Just need a runner.
Then Donker, Saiz, wide to Neto. Saiz has made a run down the line. Neto turning. Was he caught there yet by Murphy? Free kick Wolves. And Kilman and Bolly will make their way forwards.
It's a decent delivery now. Yeah, just caught his training leg, didn't he?
25 minutes still to play. Still a breakthrough to come.
Yeah. Be nice to get a goal.
Neto, left-footed delivery. High to the far post. It just went over the top of Bolly's head. Comes out towards Jimenez. Neves tries to strike it. Took a bit of a deflection and comfortable save low down to his right-hand side from Darlow.
Yeah, and didn't catch the full of it, did he? Didn't catch it, unfortunately.
There's Almiron to Fraser, up to halfway for Newcastle. Now Murphy. Backwards to Scher. Trying to crossfield ball that Semedo, he should have intercepted. It went underneath his foot.
You can say well left.
Well, he had to chase the ball down because I think he did get something on it.
Well, he's lucky that Lewis actually stopped his run, didn't he? See, that's who he was aimed for.
There's Saiz up to halfway. Now to Neves. Wide to Romain Saiz, trying to play it into the channel for the run of Neto. A little nudge in the back of Murphy is going to be penalised. Free kick Newcastle, and here come the changes. It's Pedence coming off for Traore.
Surprised he's been lively, hasn't he, tonight?
And it is Saiz who is replaced by Marcel. Bit more of a natural wing back, though, resisting the temptation to give a debut to Ryan Nori.
No, we like for like, wasn't it? Traore just going up the top line. Marcel just coming down here.
Wilson penalised for his challenge on Bolly. Neves in the centre circle, over halfway for Semedo. Balls to Traore. Flicking it for Dendoncker. I thought Jimenez was behind him. He wasn't. Newcastle coming away with it through San Maximin. All those who look at Traore and San Maximin as two very similar styles of players.
He's not as good as Traore.
Well, that's your opinion, Tomo. Long ball forwards for Wilson. Flag has stayed down. Right-hand side of the penalty area. Waiting for support to arrive. Gets it from San Maximin. Trying to tee it up here for Hendrick to strike it. Big deflection. Patricio will run out to the left-hand corner of his box to stop it going behind for a corner.
Yeah, that's a strange rule, isn't it, that one? But the offside. If he's not sure the lines when he keeps his flag down.
Looks like the rain is beginning to come down.
Yeah.
Here at Molineux, you can just see it in amongst the floodlights and the empty top tiers of the stands around this stadium. Fabian Schär being closed down by Jimenez. Good pressure being put on. Marcel fouling Fraser. Free kick Newcastle.
Yeah, it's good pressure from Jimenez, isn't it? Working really hard again. Tell you, it makes such a difference to have somebody up front closing the ball down and putting pressure on them.
Later, Martin listening in from Cyprus. Richard Wilding in South Africa. David Roll over in Gallatin, Missouri. Hendrick with a long ball down the left-hand side for Newcastle, intercepted by the head of Bolly. Traore was a little bit on his heels. That allowed Hendrick to get the loose ball ahead of him. Fraser for Almiron, still inside the Newcastle half. Back to Fernandez, swept across low for Fabian Schär. Fraser, Saint-Maximin, well read by Kilman. One possession back. Here's Neto. Back infield to Neves, just over the halfway line, driving into a central position. To the right-hand side to Semedo. Further out to Traore. Traore with two men for company, heading towards the corner flag. And in the end, ball came off him and will be a Newcastle throw.
Yeah, and that's what teams do against him now, doesn't it? Double up against him, try and block him off.
Semedo's headed down from an attempted Newcastle clearance. Neves for Neto. Neto's shot took a big deflection, cleared away by Fernandez. Neves working hard, got a toe to the ball ahead of Saint-Maximin. Marçal to Neves, flicked infield to Bolly. Wolves maybe thinking about going through the gears again, upping the tempo.
They're just defending so deep with a load of men behind the ball, aren't they? Newcastle.
Traore on that right-hand side. Two men again for company, going to the byline this time, winning his team a corner. Their first of the second half. Only the second of the entire game. 19 minutes to play. Marçal up against the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box. Bolly and Jimenez are going in there as well. Dendoncker and Kilman waiting to run from slightly deeper. Neto's whipped in delivery. Goalkeeper and Bolly almost collided. Newcastle got the ball clear. Neves picking up on the loose ball on halfway. Midway between the left-hand touchline and the centre circle. A 1-2 with Cody. Wide for Marçal as Newcastle get back into position. Neves sweeping it across the centre circle for Bolly. For Semedo. Down the line for Traore. It's being held up by Lewis. Back for Semedo. Now for Willy Bolly. 18 minutes still to play here, Tomo. Still Wolves pressing for the breakthrough.
Yeah, you're just watching Newcastle. I know we said they played deep in this game, but they're doing it again. Great ball from Conor Cody again. 60, 70-yard ball, diagonal.
Semedo being forced backwards, though, into his own half. To Conor Cody. Now for Max Kilman. Infield to Cody. And to hit more of a straighter diagonal that Dendoncker flicked infield to Jimenez, who works it wide for Traore, and Wolves have numbers in the penalty area. If Traore can pick someone out as he goes to the byline. His cross was low and turned away by Fraser. Saint-Maximin fouled by Semedo. A soft free kick.
It was good play up there, wasn't it? Jimenez holding the ball up. Just playing it out wide. Just need a bit more quality coming into the penalty area.
I just wonder whether Traore just could have delivered this earlier.
I thought that he could have. So, to be fair, Lewis has done pretty well against him. But he put a decent ball in. He's pulled it back along the 6-yard box line.
Just when it was played out to him, Dendoncker, Jimenez, Neto, I think were all in amongst that penalty area. It's often harder to defend one when you're going back towards your own goal. Maybe just trying to get up to speed with the play.
Yeah, so look, last couple of times he's come on, I think that he hasn't looked his explosive self when he's playing.
Marçal to Kilman, to Cody, middle of the Wolves half. Wide for Semedo, just on halfway. 1-2 with Traore. Looking back infield to Bolly. Neves has come short. 1-2. Bolly finding Dendoncker, sweeping it wide for Traore, and Traore now trying to drop his shoulder and barge his way past a couple of challenges. Ball's going to hit the corner flag and go behind for a goal kick, though.
Again, he hasn't been able to get into his stride, has he? So look, he's hindered from somebody. Just going a little nudge or just a little tackle on him. Oh, well done. There you go.
Neto putting real pressure on Fabian Schär as Newcastle tried to play it out deep. I was just keeping an eye there because I think Ryan O'Nory is being sent down the line with a message for someone. The ball will go back to Darlow. He'll clear it downfield. Bolly out-muscling Wilson. Neves finding Semedo. Turning backwards and finding Cody. Swept first time for Marçal. Newcastle preparing a double change here. Neves. Backwards to Cody. Left-hand side of the centre circle. A little short pass finding Kilman. Wide for Marçal. Marçal turning away from Fraser. Finding Kilman in field, just over the halfway line. Kilman looking for a short pass to Dendoncker, to Neto. Tried to take it on the turn, has done well to hold on to it. Looking out to the Wolves' right, finding Traore. Traore up against two again, beats one, goes towards the byline, lifts his cross in. Dendoncker was arriving, it comes to Marçal, pulls it back. Neto striking, bodies blocking it again. And Newcastle somehow squeezed the ball away.
Oh, they're hanging on, aren't they? They're hanging on. So, again, good play from Traore. That's what you want to see from him. Just stood the ball up to the back post.
Neves for Neto. Neto looking to dribble past Fraser. Down the left-hand side for Marçal. Low cross in. Hendricks clearance only as far as Neto. Left-hand corner of the box. Back in field to Jimenez. Jimenez shaping. Trying to find room for a shot. Blocked off by Hendrick. Back to Jimenez. Hits it on the turn. Darlow saving low down to his right-hand side. Wolves are knocking on that door.
Yeah, they're definitely on now, aren't they? They've got Newcastle pinned into their own half. Again, you could see Jimenez just trying to toe poke. Just drop for him. Just turn and hit the shot.
76.5 minutes played at Molineux. Somehow, it is still 0-0. Foot in by Kilman again to deny Wilson. Another good performance by Max Kilman. Semedo leaving it for Traore. Runs past him on the overlap. Traore up towards the edge of the penalty area. Cutting in field, finding Marçal. Marçal decided to shoot. Blocked by Schär. Neto backwards for Neves. Now to Kilman. Kilman dribbling away from Almiron. And out to the left-hand side to Neto. Neto trying to find space to whip across in all the way through the 6-yard box. And through for a throw on the far side.
Oh, somebody's just got to have a gamble, haven't they? It's a great ball from him. Oh, just watching it again in the replay. Right across the 6-yard line it was. Just that area where the keeper can't come for it. The defender's struggling. He's got his back to play. Just somebody have a gamble to get in there.
Joe Linton coming on for Ryan Fraser. Sean Longstaff is about to come on as well. Maybe a bit more support in the Newcastle midfield.
Well, they're getting overrun a little bit, aren't they? So was it?
It's Sam Maximim who is coming off.
Well, he struggled to get into the game, hasn't he, today? And credit to Wolves for that. Closing him down.
Wolves won't be too unhappy to see him go off.
No.
Potential game changer replaced. 12 minutes plus time to be added on for Wolves to try and find the breakthrough. Had quite a few more shots in this one, but combination of Newcastle putting bodies on the line. And Wolves maybe been a little bit wayward. Haven't tested Darlow perhaps enough as much as they would have wanted to.
To be fair, the Newcastle defenders have got the blocks on, haven't they? So look, we've had shots, but just haven't been able to get it towards the keeper.
Neto's heavy ball wide for Marçal. Newcastle throw deep inside their own half. Don't forget post-game the thoughts of Carl Ikeme and Chris Iwelumo. Neto, good run down the left-hand side again, and he's going to get a free kick here. It's actually good work by Lee Mason, because when Neto looked up, there wasn't really anyone in the penalty area for Wolves, so more than happy to pull it back for the free kick.
Yeah, just needs a decent delivery.
We're going to see João Moutinho coming on shortly. Neto with the free kick out on the left-hand side. Trying to whip it high to the far post. It was just too high for Bolly. Clearance comes out to Jimenez, who strikes it. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Raúl Jimenez. The Mexican sensation delivers another stunning finish. When his team need him, he is always there. Brilliant touch to set himself, and then the strike, finding the far corner. Finally the breakthrough. Wolves 1, Newcastle 0.
Oh, I'll tell you what a strike. I'm just watching it again on the replay. It's come out to him. He's pulled away. He saw him as the ball's coming. He's pulled away. First touch on the volley. Oh, it's just the power that's beat Darlow. But you could see him just pull away onto the edge of the box. Oh, no. Not going to stop it, is he?
Sat up nicely.
Yeah.
2 bounces, and then the sweetest of right-footed strikes. Darlow got a hand to it, but he couldn't stop it. Raúl Jimenez continues this remarkable start to the season that he is having.
Well, it sounds like Newcastle now going to have to come out a little bit more. Is that going to leave more spaces for us as well? Just got to be careful now, because they need to get themselves back into it. They haven't done it in this game so far in the 81 minutes that we've played. They've kind of sat in Newcastle.
A 4th goal in 7 appearances for Raúl Jimenez this season. Where would they be without him?
Well, so look, that's the reason why he wanted to stop here. He's idolised, isn't he, as a player? And to say, why move anywhere if you're enjoying it and having the best spell of your career in goals?
Hendricks ball forwards, intercepted by Bolly. Dendoncker for Neto. Got a good shout there as Murphy was closing in. Found Marçal over the halfway line. He comes through the legs to find Neto. Back to Marçal, who inadvertently played it back to Joe Linton. And now Almiron trying to drive Newcastle forwards. Longstaff chasing his pass, threaded in behind, and Neves sliding in. Good challenge. Yeah, and he wins the throw as well, Ruben Neves.
He's played well again tonight, hasn't he? Neves tracking back. He's worked hard.
João Moutinho is stripped and ready. Just trying to get the board ready again. And it's Ruben Neves who is coming off, and what a good performance he has had today.
He's had a good game. He's had a good game. And it's great that he's just signing off tonight with that last-ditch tackle where he's tracking back. He's had a good game.
Yeah, will be very close for a man of the match, Ruben Neves.
Yeah. Not a bad replacement, though, is it?
He and Dendoncker, I think, have been very good today. Yeah. Kilman once again. Neto, you could put up in amongst it. Now Traore giving chase from Neto's clearance. Fernandez back to the keeper. Last 7 minutes, plus time to be added on. Different game now.
But it is, and now you can see all of a sudden the formation of Newcastle's changed. More advanced players now, where before they were sitting back, happy just for Wolves just to come on.
Longstaff wide for Murphy on the right-hand side, trying to lift across into the danger zone. Cody got a foot to it and turned it away for a throw down by the corner flag on the Newcastle right.
You're going to expect a little bit of pressure now off Newcastle, aren't you? Now that they've got to go and chase the game a little bit. But again, you just got to see the game out. Carry on doing what you're doing. Keep possession of the ball.
Longstaff for Murphy. Neto, great challenge from Pedro Neto, and he wins a free kick. That's the desire.
Yeah.
That's the character that you need to see in a team, to protect what they have, to fight to the end, to never allow just an easy cross into their own penalty area.
Well, I'd like to say that's what Nuno sides do, don't they? They go on to the end. They're willing to run and work really hard for each other. And again, an example of it there with Neto, not just up in that top third, but also working back. Just seeing the goal again.
Oh, gets better with every view for Raúl Jimenez. Beautiful hit.
But it was the way he pulled away. As the ball's coming in, he's pulled away to the edge of the penalty area. He knew it was going to be headed out. And then his first touch just sat it up nice for him. Second, as you said there, second bounce. And the powers just beat Darlow.
Scored 2/3 of Wolves' goals this season.
Look, if you don't matter how you win, is it? But like I say, they haven't been troubled so far, Wolves, but I'd expect Newcastle now to pile a little bit more pressure on.
Here comes Fabian Schär, trying to dribble the ball into the Wolves' half, wide to the right side to Almiron. Back infield to the centre of the half to Hendrick. Andy Carroll's about to come on.
Yeah, that might be a change of play on it for them then. A little bit more direct, I think.
Ball here for Almiron. It's on the edge of the centre circle. Wide out to Lewis on the left-hand side. Lewis with time to set himself to cross from deep. Crosses too deep. Comes all the way through to Murphy, who puts it back into the danger zone. Bolly just helping it over to the left-hand side of Newcastle. Lewis. Newcastle have committed men forwards here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They haven't done it all game. So they've started to press forward. Could we get the ball to Traore now?
Murphy towards Joe Linton, headed down. Patricio will control it and then pick it up.
Yeah, it's just leaving them a little bit open at the back now, where they had that 5 across the back. They've only got the 3, sometimes the 2. So it's a chance there now that hopefully Wolves can exploit it and get that second goal.
Coutinho for Cody to Semedo. Last 4 minutes of the game. Semedo back to Willy Bolly. Patricio on his weaker foot, clearing it forward. Semedo trying to flick it on. Traore couldn't quite get there ahead of Fernandez. Lewis back infield to Lascelles. 3.5 minutes remain, plus time to be added on at Molineux. Wolves 1, Newcastle 0. Raul Jimenez's goal, the difference between the two sides. Wolves have been very much in control for the majority of this match. They will want to see the job through for a third successive 1-0 victory. Hendrick's ball forwards towards Wilson. And he's under pressure from Cody. And Lee Mason's given a free kick to Newcastle. It's a yard outside the penalty area here.
Oh, this will be Almiron. I think he'll be interested in this one with his left foot. I don't think there was much in that. No, he just stood his ground. He's gone into him.
It's Jamal Lascelles who is coming off, by the way, to allow Andy Carroll to come on.
Well, they might as well go for it, haven't they?
Carroll will go forwards. In the meantime, Almiron and Murphy amongst those stood over the ball. I think that's Fabian Schär stood over it as well. Wolves have a 4-man wall, and then Moutinho just to the left-hand side of it as you look towards goal.
Well, you'd think the left foot is going to have it, wouldn't you?
That would be Almiron.
Yeah, you'd think that it was going to be him, but it looks like Murphy set the ball up.
Murphy pacing backwards. Big moment in the game, this. It's Murphy round the corner of the wall and in. It's beaten Rui Patricio at his near post. And having been defending for so much of this second half, when Wolves finally got the breakthrough, Newcastle went forwards. And with their first real effort in the second half, they've got themselves back on level terms with just minutes to play.
Well, it's probably their first effort of the game, I think. I'm just looking at the wall here. Has he got the wall across the little tip? Oh. He's killed it around the wall. Oh, he's just caught him out, hasn't he?
Gets a hand to it, Rui Patricio.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll feel like he could have got a stronger hand to it.
Yeah, sound like they won't be happy with that because they've dominated the game, Wolves. Newcastle have offered not much, and to lose a goal like that.
It's a real kick in the teeth.
Yeah, it is.
89 minutes have been played. Wolves having put so much work in to get in front. I've now got to do it all over again in a minimal amount of time. Neto, lovely bit of trickery. Dendoncker, Marcel on the left-hand side. 10 yards from the corner flag, trying to find room to get a cross in. Instead, we'll settle for it's a goal kick.
Goal kick.
Looking towards Lee Mason there. I don't think we're sure. Jacob Murphy getting the benefit of the doubt. And it's his free kick that caught Rui Patricio napping.
But you're just looking at that, just again, like Murphy hasn't even bothered getting the ball to Darlow. And you think that Newcastle have come here for a draw. With the way that they were set up, the way deep they were, and they're fortunate to get the goal back.
Well, I did warn you about 1-1 as a potential scoreline. 6 of the last 10 Premier League meetings have been 1-1. There's 3 minutes left to change that. Traore, middle of the Newcastle half. Jimenez to his right, didn't find him with the pass. Up to Andy Carroll, back for Lewis. Early up towards Wilson. Cody got a cross in front of him.
I think that's a foul on Connor Cody, isn't it?
Yeah, Lee Mason was waiting to see if Wolves got benefit of the doubt. They didn't.
Yeah, he did well there, didn't he, Connor Cody?
Matinho to Marçal on halfway. To left-hand side to Neto. Is there to be one final twist in the tail here at Molineux? Matinho just to the left of the centre circle. Giving it to Kilman to bring it forwards. Marçal is wide. Dendoncker and Jimenez in field. It goes to Jimenez. Trying to squeeze it through to Neto. Hendrick got there, draws the foul. And Newcastle will eat up a little bit more time. We have played a minute of the 3 minutes being added on. Fabian Schär stood over the free kick to launch it in the direction of Andy Carroll. Bolly wins it in the air, but at the expense of a throw to Newcastle, just short of midway inside the Wolves half. Say reaction from Carl Ikeme and Chris Iwelumo in our post-match show. Try and get your reaction from down in the tunnel as well, if we can. Semedo is giving us a Newcastle throw. Minute 20 remaining. Newcastle taking so long over everything at the minute. Semedo clears it forwards. Longstaff away from Matinho. Referee's happy enough with it. That was a handball by Longstaff, intentional. And then he tried to stop the play going forwards. And Lee Mason wants a longer word with Sean Longstaff. Didn't want Wolves to get on with it. Allowed Newcastle to get their bodies back. Here's Kilman down the left-hand side for Marçal. Marçal trying to drift in field. Almiron got back to help out as Marçal had easily beaten Murphy. And then draws the free kick there, Miguel Almiron.
Yeah, and he's just running the ball away, isn't he?
Last 15 seconds by my watch, and Carl Darlow will probably use all of those up in taking this free kick. Lee Mason's telling him to get on with it. A little look at the watch from the referee as Dendoncker complains. Still Darlow taking his time. Eventually lifts it forwards. We're in added time now. Carroll's header, whistle to his lips. It will finish Wolves 1, Newcastle 1. Frustration for Wolves, who dominated possession throughout the game and pressed, especially in a second period that saw a potential penalty when Pedro Neto's strike and Daniel Podence's strike was blocked by what looked like an arm, but benefit of the doubt given to Newcastle. Eventually, they found their way through for a superb strike by Raul Jimenez, his 4th goal of the season, but they couldn't hold out at the other end as a free kick was won on the edge of the penalty area and Murphy ripped it round the outside of the wall, beating Rui Patricio at his near post. And the scoreline of 1-1 that has been seen so often, 4 in a row now between these two, have finished 1 apiece. Wolves 1, Newcastle 1.
Yeah, I think they've come here for the draw and they've got it. So like that's the thing. So like the way that they were set up and 0-0. So like they was playing with that flat 5 at the back, pretty deep as well, and they was getting deeper as the game went on. But Wolves got that goal, and all of a sudden they started to press out a little bit more, brought a couple of players on, and started to advance, got the free kick, and Murphy's was able to score it. But I think they got what they wanted to come here for today, and that was a draw for me.
Well, Wolves are continuing this little unbeaten run that they're on now of the response from that West Ham game, but they will maybe feel like they've missed an opportunity to pick up another victory. It's still a strong start to the season. They didn't manage to get another clean sheet, but we'll look back on it all with Chris Iwelumo, Carl Ikeme and Andy Thompson in just a moment or two. Don't go anywhere. This is Wolves TV, Matchday Live Extra.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blight Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blight Group.
This season, the Old Gold Club and Wolves TV Matchday Live are powered by Blythe Group, an industry-leading construction company and family-run business since 1982, driving investment and infrastructure across the UK. Blythe Group's mission is to provide an unrivaled service based on innovative, bespoke building solutions and comprehensive customer support. If you're a skilled tradesperson and you want to join the team that powers our team, contact their bases in Wolverhampton, Manchester or Maidenhead via theblythegroup.co.uk. Blythe Group, big enough to deliver, small enough to care.
Coutinho trying to release Jota down the left-hand side. Goalkeeper thought about coming in and didn't. Jota is wiped out just outside the penalty area. This is going to be a yellow card coming.
It's just too quick for him.
João Coutinho, the step up right-footed from the free kick. Calls it on! That's unbelievable! João Coutinho has whipped it into the far top corner. Can you believe this? 60 games without a goal comes to an end. Magic Coutinho, 5'7" of football heaven, delivers on the South Coast. Coutinho trying to take the free kick quickly, in behind for Traoré. Low on a cross, oh that's brilliant! Turned home by Raúl Jiménez. A stunning counter-attacking goal from the set piece. It's unbelievable football. It's Bournemouth 0, Wolves 2. Raúl Jiménez just cannot be stopped. 4 in 4. Jota, now he's been pulled back by Francis. We're playing on because here comes Johnny up to the edge of the box. Johnny across towards Traoré. Now Jimenez trying to slide it in here for Doherty to strike it. Oh, and all the way across the face of goal. It's calling Francis towards him. He's reaching towards the pocket. It's a yellow card, and Simon Francis is sent off. The corner, linked it at the near post, and in, and Bournemouth have one back. The set piece works. Steve Cook is the man who got there.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blight Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blight Group.
Right, let's get you some reaction to what's happened here at Molineux today then. Chris Iwelumo, coming to you first. What did you make of what you saw in that second half?
Well, I thought it was near enough a perfect performance. You know, it's definitely 2 points dropped, isn't it? And that's the disappointing thing. You know, I thought the goal, they sat in, as Tom said, they came for a draw, they came for a point. And I thought the goal was just excellent. You know, just the composure. He's done it time and time again. I think he's from the start of last season, I think 10 games he scored the winning goal. Should have been 11, to be honest. But then Newcastle come out and they have got quality in the team, and is it an individual error? You know, you look at the setup of the wall, the positioning of it. You know, Jacob Murphy could only go one way, and Rui Patricio has been absolutely outstanding. I mean, he's been absolutely outstanding. But again, whose responsibility is that? You know, Carl, it's from a goalkeeper, you set it up, it's usually the second man in from the end of the wall. He's got to line that up with the ball in the post, hasn't he? And I'm just thinking there's a responsibility there. And that's what I'm saying. It's been a great start with 1 point, but with 3 points, but we're even higher. And that's where we've got to be aiming.
I agree. I think it was a really good performance, but to go to the goal, and Rui's been brilliant. So not to take anything away from him, but some setups are different. I'm not too sure if Nuno tells I've played with managers that have told the second man to line the wall up, but as soon as Murphy started running up, I could see the wall wasn't in the right position. Yeah. I could see what he could go to do, and then obviously he did execute it. But yeah, the wall needed to be a bit further across to stop that corner, and Rue would take the other corner if he put it in got it over the wall. Then take your hat off to you. But it's disappointing just because I felt like we deserved the 3 points. But it was a really good second half performance. It was a really good performance all round, to be honest. We played well all game. There's lots of positives to take from the game. Traore coming on as well, looked sharp. Neves was brilliant all game. There's a lot of positives to take. Just as Chris was saying, if we did get the 3 points, we'd be right up there. But still a lot of positives to take.
Yeah. On the goalkeeping as well, Carl Ikeme, I just want you to kind of give us an insight to it, because you can kind of see from the one angle that as they're kind of beginning to go for it, Patricio is obviously looking to his right. It's that gamble you take that I imagine 99 times out of 100, that ball comes across him that way. So he's looking to see, are they going to lift it into the penalty area? Is that just something that you kind of have to accept sometimes as a keeper, that it can happen?
Yeah, I think mistakes happen. And it's just part and parcel of the game. The amount of times Rui saved us since he's been at Wolves heavily outweighs the mistakes he's made. But yeah, for me, just as a technical point, I'd like the wall over a yard or two, and in my opinion, Rui was just a little bit flat to his line, which was always going to make it difficult for him to get across to the other corner. But everyone has their own style of goalkeeping, and that's just me. Rui might feel more comfortable being a bit flat to his line. I would feel a bit more comfortable, my body angled a little bit, left shoulder facing the other way a little bit. But it's just a small technical error which is costly in the Premier League. We know that even Newcastle have not deserved the victory, but them small margin errors get punished, unfortunately. And like we've seen, just a small error of a yard makes a massive difference in the Premier League and get punished. And I think that's what's happened today.
Thing is, this is always the way, though, isn't it, with goalkeepers, in that we are sitting here talking about Rui Patricio's perhaps one thing that he didn't quite do right in the game. The argument, Tomo, may well be that those ahead of him should have had us a couple of goals clear and safe before then.
Yeah, you could do. You stop pointing the fingers up the other end, you could do. But look, I thought it was a good performance. I thought they played well. I thought they passed it around well. They looked sharp. They had the percentage of possession, something that we didn't have, especially at Leeds. They looked very comfortable for the game. Newcastle were getting deeper and deeper. They come here, as said there with Loom, said that for a draw. They've come here and not get anything else. They didn't come out hardly at all. Felt a bit sorry for Wilson up front, because he was just running up there on his own between the three players. Never really got near it. Changed all of a sudden. We get the goal. They start to push it forward again. We can keep pointing the finger a little bit about the wall being in the wrong place. But look, it was a decent game tonight. I think that Wolves will be pretty happy. Generally, they won't be happy at all because of the draw. But I think generally they'll be more happy than they were than say Leeds first half anyway.
What we have to talk about, and we spoke about it after the West Ham game, look, Wolves are a force to be reckoned with. They're not getting taken lightly. Teams are playing, they have to come with a plan against us, home or away, and that's something that, again, it's down to how far we've came. Now, we have to get used to that we are going to probably dominate quite a lot, because that's the way Nuno wants to play. He wants to score more goals. today we found it hard, and it was a magical goal, and we've got to talk about that goal. Jimenez does something that a striker shouldn't do. You want to be in the mix. The ball comes in, and he's going to the edge of the box because he's anticipating. Yeah. And the first touch, and the time that he took just to make sure that he struck it well was outstanding. But teams are going to do this to us time and time again. They're going to come, they're going to set up, they're going to be hard to break down, and then think, you know what, let's play on the break, because we are a good side. But we have to, and we've always kind of struggled against a team if they came and shut up shop and they parked the bus. We've always kind of struggled. We've got some fantastic technical players, but time and time again, even in this game today, we never had enough players in the box when we were in wide areas. I thought Neto was outstanding today. Yeah. Defensively, I thought he was outstanding. Some of the balls he put in the box, and you can see the reaction. You know, Jimenez, there's one that he's gambled at the front, and that's just the luck of it. But we have to be more clinical. We have to be more creative when teams come and try and kill the match. When they want to come and get us out of our groove or stop the flow of the way that we want to play, we have to have that other plan B and mix up a little bit more, because we've done everything right. We scored in the 80th minute. There's not that much. You just got to see it out. Don't give the free kick away in the first place. Never mind talking about the wall. It's just defend them well, and just those little individual errors. And they are. We'll get rid of them. We'll nullify them. But I'm disappointed because it's 2 points dropped, isn't it?
Do we feel like it's a little bit soft, that free kick as well, by the way?
Yeah.
I'm just watching some of the replays back on it now.
I'm watching the replay and I say, look, he has touched him, but I think that Wilson's waiting for him to come near him, and then he's just gone down to ground. You've seen all night, Wilson's a strong boy, he can hold people off, but the slightest of touch from Conor Cody when he's come, because he's gone into him a little bit, he's felt Conor Cody come, and then he's gone to ground, and the referees give a free kick. But look, this is what happens at the top level, isn't it? You get punished if there's a small mistake, and that's what's happened. They've got themselves back into the game. And do Newcastle deserve it? Probably not. Okay, but what we've got to do, we've got to try and just see out the game. And try and, as Looms was saying there, don't give away those little free kicks on the edge of the box corners, because you're just going to invite pressure on. But they'll be disappointed. But I think that they'll be pretty happy with the way that they've gone about the game in the whole.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll be disappointed, but I don't think we'll read too much into it. I don't think there'll be much confidence dropped defensively either. We were solid all night. The Newcastle created very little throughout the whole game, and I don't think we'll be going into our next game thinking we're a bit wobbly or a bit shaky. It's just an error, and that's all it is. It was a good all round performance. We played worse than won. Let's be honest, and it was just the fine margins of what happened. The free kick wasn't a free kick for me. I felt a coach just stood his ground and he had every right to. But this is what happens in the Premier League. We've just got to accept it and move on. Take the positives from the game. Take Neto, Podence, Troyo when he come on. Marcel, we looked a bit more free flowing. Neves who was unbelievable all game, and take that into the next game.
Well, since you spoke about the next game, Keems, like if I say to you guys, what do we expect from Crystal Palace?
It's exactly the same.
Exactly the same, isn't it? They're going to sit deep. They've got so much pace in the team. They're going to sit and say, come on then, break us down. And we've got to have the answers there. We've got to be more creative in that attacking third. And then all of a sudden, we can't just throw men and take unnecessary risks. We've got to be aware, because they've got real pace and real quality. And that's the way that they play. You know, look, we're one of the best at it in the Premier League, that counter-attack football. Nuno's trying to tweak it a little bit, you know, different personnel. You know, and at the minute, we're unbeaten. So there's positives to take out of it. That we have created chances. You know, we have had moments. But it's going to be this. Palace are going to set up that exact same way. So we know we have to find a way that we can penetrate it and break it down. Yeah,
I think Palace are going to do the same. I think they've done the same against Fulham the weekend. That they defended in their blocks. And it'd be interesting to see what Nuno does next week. I expect maybe a change or two just to try and open it up a little bit, because I feel like we do need to get Traore up and running now. I think he's an important player for us. I think he wasn't magnificent when he come on, but you could just see he needs game time now from me. and we need to get him in the game more while trying to fit Podence and Neto in, because I feel like Podence is a really important player. I feel like he is that person that can get
I
feel like Podence is that player that can get the ball on the half turn and take someone out of the game. So it's another conundrum that Nuno, I'm sure, will figure out. It's a good problem to have, as Tomo said, but I just feel that it's going to be the same game on Friday, and I do feel like we need to come up with the answers.
Okay, let's go for this then. Selection meeting. We're the committee. I want you to kind of go. So Neves, I thought he did really well today.
Yeah.
He stays in.
Yeah.
Okay, Neto, I think we'd all agree, pretty impressive again. He stays in.
You've got to. This is what Keems is saying. I think you've got to sacrifice. I think Neto was excellent today. I think Traore, since the West Ham game, and Fulham done the same. Fulham had 2 left backs, didn't they? That you seen it today. Every time Traore got the ball, they've got 2 players covering to try and force him down the line, and he still wants to go there. So again, it's okay. If you play Traore, I think he's got the quality that he's got to maybe have a little bit more freedom than just down the one side. When he has a freedom and he floats in centre, he's unplayable when he's got that freedom. But at the minute, it's quite easy to defend.
Yeah. Okay. If you're going to put Traore into the starting lineup, then let's do it slightly differently. Who are you sacrificing to take out to put him in?
Well, I've got to take Neto out. As excellent as he was, I've got to take him out because I agree with Keems. I think Podence is outstanding. I think Podence is that magic player. But again, they've got to work in that formation to fit Traore in. You know what I mean?
Okay, Tomo.
I would leave it as it was the starting lineup tonight.
Okay.
I'll just
he's removing himself from it. That's fine.
Don't sit in the fence, Tomo. Come on, mate.
Safe, dude.
It's very safe, mate. It's very safe.
I would give Traore more game time. They brought him on a little bit later on. I'll give him a little bit more game time. Because, look, we've got an abundance of people we can play on, and Traore's one of them. But I would start with what we had tonight, and then I'd bring Traore on, give him a little bit more game time.
It's tough. I would.
You started this.
Now remember, Crystal Palace are going to set up the exact same way. Yeah. They're going to say, "Come and break us down." Now, what if you give? And I know Neto was good and he's direct, but Traore on his day is unplayable. If he can get at people and commit players, and if he's going to take 2 players out, that creates space for another. And like you say, so I'm trying to just throw that one in there, Tom. That's very safe. I'm disappointed, Tom.
Yeah, I'm going to go for and I don't like saying it because I love Saïs a bit, obviously, but I think I'd take Saïs out and change Semedo and put Traore right wing back because I really want Podence to stay on the pitch. I think he's got that little bit of magic, and but I also really want to see our fullbacks bombing on because I feel like we're going to need it to open Crystal Palace up, Newcastle up. I felt like the game started to open up as we started to get more runners in the game.
Yeah.
Okay. It's an interesting debate. It's one Wolves fans will have between now and Friday night, and it'll be really interesting to see what Nuno does on Friday. Very quickly, a man of the match from each of you. I think I already suggested that I was putting forwards Neves. Tomo?
Yeah, I think you can look beyond him. I thought he played really well. I thought his passing was excellent. I thought his work rate was exceptional as well. Just before he went off, running all the length of the pitch, closing them down, tackling. I just thought it was a good all-round performance from him.
Very quickly, Looms.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think Neves was excellent. I think, and a game again, he's going to if he's playing and he should play Friday, he's going to be so important doing that, sharing that role.
Keems, full house.
No, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go for, and it's unlike me, but I'm going to go for Jimenez. When you produce that bit of magic, we're all saying that we needed that bit of magic, and he produced that today. The intelligence, as Chris was saying, I seen the ball go in the box, and I seen him just drop off, and that intelligence to know that ball's coming there, and to execute him, has got my man of the match vote.
That's why we have Carl Ikeme on here. It's flat out refusal just to agree with the rest
I'm
of
not
us.
complying. I'm not complying.
Who's yours, Mikey?
I said Ruben Neves. I think Max Kilman was very good. I think
There's some good
Dendoncker was
performances
very good.
tonight, though.
There was some really good performances as well. Frustrating that they didn't quite get the result that we hoped that they would. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And if you are slightly frustrated that Wolves didn't see it out for a 1-0 victory, just spare a thought for these three who were staring down the barrel of yet another correct prediction by me. So even though Wolves conceded, there is a slight element to it that lifts it back.
Can I just say,
No, we're out of time.
I hope you carry this on. When one of us,
Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you all soon.
I'm not playing anymore. I'm not playing.
I tell you what.